Do you like basketball? 농구? I like, but I'm not good at. Yes, I'm not.
Me too.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the State of the League podcast, the only NBA podcast. You know what? I'll let you take it today. Pablo, what are we the only NBA podcast of?
We're the only NBA podcast that talks about every single NBA team every single week. Timestamp in the description. And, yeah.
Except on Wednesday's episode about the Hawks. Because it was such a... I had, like, sections for that video that I was going to timestamp, but...
Well, why do we need timestamps on that?
It's an
one team.
Well, I don't know. People were like... We got one that was complaining about it, and I'm like, dude...
Do they know? Did they... I feel like they might have thought it was a normal episode, and they were like, "What the heck? The Hawk segment's going on so long."
I don't know. I felt like I made it pretty clear from like the thumbnail and the title and the description and everything that it was a Hawk-centric video. But maybe some people are just dumb. It's definitely possible. Although this is a free episode, that guy could easily be listening to this episode. You're not dumb, man. I've done way dumber things than not know what a YouTube video was about.
I'll tell you what, guys. Head on over to Hot Tunes TV China NBA. I've been posting way more on there, which means 2 videos in 3 days. It's supposed to be a video every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, I tried. I put it off, and then last minute I tried to do just a just a straight up talking video about the NBA ratings, and I couldn't do it. You know who does it so effortlessly is Kofi. Shout out, go. Number 1, turn off this podcast. Go to Hot Tunes TV China. Number 2, turn off this podcast. Go to Kofi Y. Number 3, stick around, I suppose.
All right, stick around, I suppose. Go to the description, find out which team you like the best, and click on that timestamp. You can go right there. It'll be beautiful. I would wager that Kofi does more prep than you. If I had to take a shot, are your NBA Yap videos just like? Because I think I sat through like 5 minutes of the Bam Onyeka Okongwu one. It got recommended to me, and there was a guy on your comments who was like literally just yapping, LOL, and I was like, what do you? Like,
I hope he's not mad. He's like, oh, it's accurate.
But do you just like turn on the camera and you're like, so what's up with Onyeka Okongwu, and you just like ramble the whole time, or what?
No, so the first like 2 minutes are like an intro, then the vast majority of it is film, and then at the end, a little bit of yapping again.
I don't think I got to the film part then. I was doing I don't even remember. I might have been eating. I was starving. Lately, I've been waking up, drinking coffee until I'm so hungry that I can't think. And then I'll scramble 3 eggs and just like scarf them down really quick. And then I'll get back to doing whatever I was doing. And I think the eggs, that might have been my Hot Tunes TV China NBA session for the day.
No, okay. So check out, guys, Devin Vassell, also on there.
Devin Vaseline. He's so slippery.
Ah.
Anyone, you guys can use that if you want. All right, we're talking about the East this week. I would say we often complain, we lament when we have to talk about the Eastern Conference, but this week there's been some ups, some downs. The NBA Cup has introduced some electricity into the corpse of the Eastern Conference. So even if it's not alive, technically, it's jerking around. It's doing some stuff. If you were on a boat across the river and you saw this dead body, I could probably make it wave to you just through like electrocuting its muscles in a certain way. So yeah, that's the East. And I guess the Cavs are the 1 seed. Do you want to start with that?
I suppose there's not as much going on with the Cavs these days. Although
the Evan Mobley breakout,
that was pretty crazy.
Who did it? Oh, the Hornets? Okay. They're calling it the realest game of all time. They're calling it the Diabate destruction game. They're calling that guy's
Well,
done.
was he playing? He might have been out too.
Oh my God, maybe. I don't even remember. 41 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks, 83% true shooting, 6 of 8 from 3. He's up to 42% from 3 on 3 attempts in his last 10 games. So, kind of big. I mean, stretch big. The stretch big is here. This is real. Sabonis' 3-point shooting is fake. How do you feel?
I mean, it was pretty nasty. It was pretty impressive. It is coming against a beat up Hornets team, and let's see, were there any? So okay, they started Taj as the only big. The rest of the lineup was Micic, Green, Martin, and Miller. Okay, Mark Williams did play 11 minutes in this game. Seth Curry, Daquan Jeffries played 25 minutes.
Yeah,
Wait.
I was looking at their box scores this week. There's some fun names thrown in there. The Hawks bench is a little who's who right now.
So it definitely is still impressive, but this is similar to the Town 60-point game against the Hornets last year, where it comes when you're the only big guy on the court. There's nobody big except for the 11 minutes Mark Williams is out there.
Mm-hmm. Hey, they won this one though, so I mean that's a key difference. Is not that Cat scores 60. he had like 25, 30 in the first half, and it was like, this is epic. And then
it wasn't his fault. He got unfairly blamed. I swear.
Hey, they want Anthony Edwards to be the closer, but then Cat takes a step back. He's like, Ant, what's up? And Ant's fucking breaking everything, and Cat, he's got 45, so he's expected to step up. That was a crazy game. This isn't a Wolves segment, though, and the Knicks segment is to come later. So, yeah, the Mobley game, it was pretty sick.
And then the very next game, he sprained his ankle. Now he's hurt.
Damn, I didn't see that. Who'd they play the next? Was that the Heat game?
Yeah, Miami.
That sucks. And that's the second night of a back-to-back. So I wrote down the loss to the Heat, second night of a back-to-back with travel. It's not ideal. I'm not losing my mind over that if I'm the Cavs. And I mean, in this East, you could probably afford to lose Mobley for whatever the average sprained ankle amount of time is. I hope. One thing, like, lately that's kind of flown under the radar that would be a bigger story if the Cavs were just worse, like if they weren't firing on all cylinders, Jared Allen has not been that productive of an offensive player so far this season, especially compared to what he was like, honestly, over the last 2 whatever years since he was an all-star. He is like an 18 and 11 double-double on really good efficiency, and this season that just hasn't been there as much. He's still a really good defender and everything, but yeah, if this Mobley absence does anything, I hope it kind of buoys his numbers back up.
Yeah, it's always going to be a power struggle with him versus Mobley, because they're empowering Mobley this year by letting him do more with the ball in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
So naturally, it's going to come at the cost of Jared Allen. They kind of get in each other's way at the rim sometimes. If both guys want to dunk everything, you're bringing your defenders down there too. So I think it's. But it's probably better long term to sacrifice Jarrett Allen's offense to lift up Mobley, and then he can still exist as a guy, because his defense was always more impactful anyway. Mm-hmm. He can still exist as a guy who's just kind of mid, putting up mid production offensively, and just out there for defense. Just Rudy Gobert experience.
Yeah, it does suck. I don't know. Like it sucks because he is also, I like him as a passer a lot too, and so I agree with you that prioritizing Mobley, especially for the Cavs, just makes sense in terms of like that's the draft pick, that's the franchise, that's the future, all that shit. So it makes way more sense for him to get all of this stuff. But if Allen was on like his own team, and this is something that we've been saying since the run last year, that if these guys were just on their own teams, you have 2 all defense level guys who could average 20 and 10. And I still feel that way about Allen. And so, like, yeah, if you got him into the right situation where I don't know if like the Knicks would be perfect because he's obviously not like a cat level spacer or anything, but the way people have kind of been glazing Karl Anthony Towns for his passing and how good he's looked in New York doing stuff like that. I think Allen can make a lot of those same passes, and this season he just hasn't really been in position to be like an offensive hub, even in limited run, while Donovan Mitchell averages 30 next to him or whatever.
Yeah. Max Strus was supposed to make his debut against the Wizards, but then he backed out. What a coward.
Yep, get him off my team. He's a quitter. Like the 49ers guy just made a TikTok about that. Who? Devondre something?
I've missed this entirely. What is it?
Man. So on Thursday Night Football, let me find this guy. I have a screenshot of it. Devondre Campbell in the 49ers-Rams game, he refused to go into the game. And, yeah, it was like, obviously that's a big story. They were like, Devondre, you're up. And he's like, no, I'm good. And so I just made a video where I was like, Scottie Pippen actually did this in the playoffs in 1994. But I guess Max Strus just did it in the NBA as well. He's, I don't really feel like it, guys. Meanwhile, Chris Middleton, he's got molten lead in both of his feet, and he's out there trying his best.
I've been out the entire season. I can't go tonight. Okay, Max.
More like minimum. Am I right?
Yeah.
Comment down below if that was an epic joke.
Min toaster, you know.
What's that? No, I don't.
Like toaster strudel. Strus.
Oh, okay. All right.
9 players have defended 200-plus field goal attempts inside 10 feet this season. You know who's best at it?
Jokic. Easy.
Evan Mobley, 49.8%. Then it's Rudy. Then it's Anthony. Rudy is at 50%. Anthony Davis, 52%. Then Şengün.
Hey.
Then Miles Turner. Then Brook Lopez. Then Pirtle. Then Vucevic. Ooh, 63%.
Where's your GOAT at? Where the hell's Wemby at?
I don't know. Now, you know what probably the issue is? He hasn't defended that many field goal attempts because they're so terrified of him they don't take them. Yep. I'm sure that's what it is.
Hey, I wouldn't shoot on him.
I wouldn't enter Area 51.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
You'll get experimented on.
Yep. Get probed.
Other than that, you'll get probed. Damn.
Yep.
Ty Jerome.
Long fingers.
Ty Jerome. You want to talk about aliens and spaceships crashing to Earth? Area 51. Ty Jerome crashing back to Earth a little bit.
Shut up.
Hey,
Shut up.
Last 5 games, 7-2-2, 50% true shooting. He is not.
You're literally hating. You're a hater.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. I'm a Ty Jerome hater. There's not that many of us, but the few that we have, we're very vocal.
Always have been.
From way back. Oh my God, years. I've been like, what would that even look like? I've been like, it's good that Ty Jerome's not playing. Keep it that way. Keep him on the bench. He's bad. And so, you guys thought you were up.
If I look up what Ty Jerome did at Virginia against Nebraska, am I gonna find something? We'll see.
I don't know. Virginia, more like Virgin. Yeah, it's Ty Jerome that we're talking about here. He's a fucking idiot loser. He is not.
He's literally been at the Carmelo high-rise lifetime.
Oh fuck! I can't say that. That's a checkmate. That's like doing a money spread or something. Like, what am I supposed to respond to that? He has not made a 3 since November 27th, Mr. Ty Jerome. So.
There hasn't been that many games since then. So
I think there's been 6.
In the grand scheme of 82?
Hey, you're right. 6, that's like not even 1/10 of the season. So who gives a shit? Do you have any final Cavs thoughts?
No, get him out of here.
Get him out of here. Just ridiculous. Just not interesting at all. I don't give a shit. That's not true, Cavs fans. The Celtics, 3 in 1 week. They beat the Heat, the Pistons, the Bucks, and they lost to the Grizzlies. What do you think about the Celtics?
The Celtics have started 20-5 for the 3rd straight season. Dynasty. Yeah, Peyton Pritchard. He had a game against Milwaukee where he played 24 minutes and had 0 points, and there was the moment, is he coming back to earth? Then
Mm-hmm.
he followed it up with 22 and then 27 and 10. So
Cool.
he's still cooking. He just had a little break against those guys. But yeah, they're still going through and killing everyone. And you know who is telling them that he's killing them? Jaylen Brown. He did a throat slashing gesture towards Isaiah Stewart,
Whoa.
and then he got fined $25,000.
It's such. I guess Isaiah Stewart probably talks a lot of shit with how he ran it, like LeBron and everything. Like, I wager he's a pretty passionate player. It's just funny. I don't know. It's funny to be like, we're killing you guys to the Detroit Pistons. It just feels, it's like, cool, dude. Yeah, it's enough.
I'd love to see a world. I would love to see the outcome of what would happen if he did kill LeBron with his bare hands that day.
Oh
I wonder
my
how
God.
things go.
Well, we get like probably the most famous trial of the century. You figure the man who beat LeBron James to death. That's got to outclass O.J. Simpson, and I don't know. He'd probably go to jail for it. I don't know if he'd get executed, but we would get a lot of good. Like, first of all, LeBron immediately becomes the GOAT at that point.
Well, you got to think, where is Anthony Davis traded? Because they'll start tanking, and could he go to Atlanta?
Oh, if that was like what, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Damn. So that's like DeJounte Murray and Trey and Anthony Davis in Atlanta.
Oh, I wonder if it was pre-DeJounte trade or not.
It probably was. Because that happened like last summer. They literally had like one season of him, right?
Oh, Hawks fans, do you wish Isaiah Stewart killed LeBron so you didn't do the DeJounte trade? Comment down below.
Hey, they wouldn't have Dyson Daniels right now. So everything works out, you know? All things
Hawks
happen
fans,
for a
comment
reason.
down below. Are you happy LeBron made it so you have Dyson Daniels?
Yes. Hawks fans, comment down below. Save LeBron or kill LeBron, and we'll tally it up, and we'll get an official count at the beginning of next episode, whether or not in our fictional reality LeBron lives or dies. This is like an interactive game.
I'm gonna think through all of what would happen if Isaiah Stewart killed LeBron. Let me write that in my notes.
Jalen Duren even more playing time. Oh God.
You know what my latest note is?
What?
Penicillin was a mistake. Let mistake-prone players play more in the NBA.
Oh, okay. I saw the funniest tweet today it was a Kyrie fan who they were like smirking emoji. So the NBA, after baselessly suspending Kyrie Irving for posting a link to a documentary online, now they're partnering with Amazon Prime. The people who platform that documentary. Wow. I think we have a little bit of a logical inconsistency on our hands, folks, and so that's what I've been grappling with all day. It's just yeah. No, I mean the ins and outs of a mind like that. It's hard to map.
Me when I found out big business might be bad guys.
Me when I'm like, whoa, are you telling me that Adam Silver isn't my friend that wants to hang out with me and stuff? You telling me
it's like they only care about the money. What the vug?
What the heck, guys? Damn it. No one cares about the sport anymore. Oh man, I would love to. Adam Silver, come on the pod, dude. Oh my God.
That slut won't do it. You know who'd be good?
Who?
Timothy Chalamet.
I wonder if he knows like basketball the way he knows football.
Well, have you seen the Knicks stuff with him?
No, not really.
He's been exposed as like a diehard Knicks fan. Like there was a Landry Fields Twitter contest in 2010 or
I
something.
did see that, yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, shout out to Tim Chalamet. He found us in the park. And then there was a picture of him getting Amari's autograph outside the stadium. And yeah, people are just saying, hey, he's a legit Knicks fan. And
Hey,
so
that's
I wonder what he did for that college football. He must have had someone prepare something for him, and then he just memorized it. But who on his team would even be able to do that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Crazy.
Like if someone's preparing at all of that and they're like, give me Ohio or whoever like that crazy upset he picked was, that just doesn't make sense to me. But I would love to have him on. Him, ideal, we do like Knicks episode like we just did with the Hawks, but we get it at like absolute rock bottom. Like they lose 6 straight games. We get Chalamet and we get Ben Stiller on at the same time, and we do like a 4-way pod. That would be sick.
And we press Ben Stiller on his nepotism baby comments.
Oh no, I'd ask him about producing Severance, the Apple TV series. I'd be like, dude, that shit is so good. You really know what you're doing, man.
I would do some Walter Mitty glazing, but
God.
afterwards, then we're pressing.
What was it like doing the longboarding scene? That's so cool, dude. Oh my god, the vibes are crazy, man.
And what was it like working less hard? Because your dad is Jerry Stiller, and then he'd be like, "What the freaking heck?" And you know what? He's a guy who's on Blue Sky. He's like, I think it's actually him. There's always a Ben Stiller tweet in the Discover page. He's tweeting about basketball like such a millennial.
I'd be like, hey, if they remade Night at the Museum,
even though he's a Gen Xer, I should point out.
Yeah, so it's actually advanced for him to tweet like a millennial. He's like ahead of the curve. I was gonna say, if they remade Night at the Museum today, could you cast Rami Malek as an Egyptian guy, or are they getting in trouble for that? You think?
What is he?
He's from Egypt. Damn. All right. Never mind. You can cast him whenever you want. Hey, shout out to Rami Malek. Shout out to fuck. Is that Dick Van Dyke, the old guy in Night at the Museum? Shout out to that. Rami Malek, my fault, OG. And shout out to the Pacific HBO series. Who's next?
Yeah, Ben Stiller just tweets about the Knicks.
I think that's so based. We could get him, dude. Oh man, if we were like, I wonder if he knows about anybody in our circle. I wonder if he's ever seen a nerd sesh video. Those videos scratch old people's brains like crazy. I know it. Because my dad likes them. He's like, dude, those guys in nerd sesh, they really know their stuff, man. I'm like, dude, yeah, it's because they're fucking dorks, pal. Who's third? The Magic right now? Let me check my shit. Yes, the Magic. 2-2 week. They beat the 76ers and the Suns. And then they lost to the 76ers and the Bucks. Franz Wagner out with the same oblique injury as Paolo, probably for the same amount of time, 4 to 6 weeks. There's a curse going on in Orlando. It makes your right oblique loose and fucky.
Oblique. Bang, bang.
Hey, you can't be saying that, bro. They'll spin the block on you.
I suppose I'm... How far away am I? Probably actually pretty far. Yeah. So they ended up getting hurt. Franz did an interview in German about it. He said, "The injury is of course a severe blow for me, especially because the season was going so well up to that point. To be honest, I did not even know this injury existed until recently. Probably until Paolo." He's like, "Oblique, what's that? Oh, I guess mine is hurting too."
He went into the doctor's office. Paolo, how you feeling? You could hurt your side? Like the damn, dude.
Is that what your oblique is? I had assumed for some reason it was your pec.
No. I swear. Let me see. Oblique muscle. Let me see. Oblique injury. Blah blah blah. Yeah. It's like the. So you know where like a 6-pack would be on a like shredded guy? I would stand up and show you guys mine, but I don't.
Yeah, I know where it is on me.
Yeah. So like directly to the outside of that, like the second layer of like shredded muscle. So it's not like full on like your side, but it's like in between like your abs and your side, I guess. Does that make sense?
It's in between your what in your side?
Your abs and your side. So it's like right,
okay,
kind of like in the middle.
Is it a muscle?
Yeah. So I assume they like tore it or something.
So the Magic have an issue. They're not strengthening their obliques to a satisfactory level,
I guess.
But yeah, we're gonna see more Goga run. He did dunk on Giannis.
He did. Last 4 games. You know what he's averaging? Or wait,
What's
no,
he
not,
averaging?
not last 4. This is 4 games this year where he's played 30 or more minutes.
Where they let him off the leash a little bit.
Yeah.
They let my pony run.
They let him go crazy. They 16 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, 63% true shooting.
Oh, baby.
Wow. We're two of these games against the Suns. Who knows? You know?
Well, was Kevin Durant there?
I mean, there's no way to know. I don't even know if they were against. I'm just saying, 4 games, 30+ minutes. I'm sure there was an All-NBA center against him in every single one of those. And other than that, I mean, he's just incredible. Dunked on Giannis. He had 21, 15, and 4 on 60% true shooting in the win over Phoenix, which I believe was the first game that Franz missed. So, pretty much a superstar, guys.
Did you see the stuff with Paolo and AJ DeBanza?
No, not really.
So for anyone who doesn't know, AJ DeBanza, he is the next hyped high school prospect. The next Cooper Flag. He'll be up next year. He's like 6. They say he's 6'9". I wonder how legit that is. But just big time scorer type of guy. And he's actually going to BYU for $7 million, which is crazy. I wonder if he has to follow the honor code.
He can't have any coffee. That's so sad.
Yeah, he can't do anything but smooch.
Me and my notes, AJ DeBanza soaking video.
I wonder if he would have to. Probably not. Because BYU is a sellout university. You know their quarterback is a Jew.
Whoa. Hey, that doesn't I don't adopt his tone with that. You know, that's a good thing. I would say that's positive even.
And now their star basketball players are Russian. Is that even? They got Mormons in Russia? Is he?
I mean, probably.
Let me check how many Mormons in Russia.
I wonder what Joseph Smith was doing in Russia. Probably not that much.
Guys, he liked polygamy. Not to build up an army. It was just natural. How many Mormons in Russia? All right, we have 5,000 members in Russia.
That's not that many. Given.
Well, I mean, there was one of them Igor Damon.
Probably not.
But basically, so AJ DeBanza, who's the favorite to be the number 1 pick in the draft next year.
Okay.
He said that he would like to go to the Spurs. That would be pretty cool, or the Magic.
Okay.
He said, me and Paolo would just go crazy together. And Paolo reposted it on his story. He said, LOL, you know they ain't letting that shit happen. So it's the league. They're not letting that happen.
If I was Paolo, I don't know. Because, if I'm Paolo and I'm the number 1 pick and I don't get on national TV until the playoffs my second season, I probably would be like, God damn, is there anything I can do to maybe get a little more shine, you guys? But yeah, I don't necessarily know if Adam Silver's going to step in to prevent the league-altering unification of the Paolo, DeBanza, Franz Wagner trio. How big's DeBanza?
He's supposed to be 6'9". He's supposed to be a huge guy.
Positionless basketball.
Only obstacle is the Magic are good. So, but
yeah.
The NBA man, what is? Did he think that through at all? Does he think they're going to be in the lottery?
You know they ain't letting that happen.
You know they're not going to rig the lottery for it. Paolo. You're to your 4th seed or whatever.
You know they're not going to let you have a 0.8% chance at the first pick, pal. I can't believe they rigged it against us. Can't believe our number didn't come up. They don't want to see me thrive, but we move.
Yeah, Jason Tatum reposting Cooper Flag. Yeah, they don't want 2 Duke boys on the same team, do they?
Who else? Okay, so Franz is hurt. Goga kind of cooking. I wrote down the loss to Milwaukee. It was a pretty good game. Jalen Suggs, 32, 9, and
what a guy.
5 stocks on 56% true shooting, 18 points in the 4th quarter alone. God damn. He was cooking in this game. Some I've watched it back. Some of them were like, "Oh, my teammate airballed a shot and I get a layup. Oh, my teammate missed
That's
a
called
layup."
motor.
And he's got plenty of it. And he did score like 10 straight for them in the biggest moments of the game. The only other thing I wrote down, it's funny how Paolo went out, and I feel like us the whole time we've been like, Paolo's good. The Magic win games because they're like insane defensively and they're really deep and everything. And then Paolo,
We did think they would fall off because the offense looked terrible outside of him. But then Franz just did exactly what Paolo was doing.
yes. And then Franz did it. I don't know. It's just funny how like there really was no shift of credit, I feel like, in like the overall media sense, where it was just like, damn, look at Paolo's floor raising ability. Damn, now they have a second guy who can raise the floor like this in France. It's like, okay, yeah, they just held a team to like 85 points, guys. Like maybe there's some other stuff happening here. And so I wonder, like, if they go like 2 games over 500 or whatever until Paolo gets back and Suggs' numbers just look like solid. Like, I think over the last 4, he's 24 points and 8 assists on whatever efficiency while being a really good defender still. If his numbers look like that, I wonder if it'll still be like, damn, look at Jalen Suggs. They've got so many guys. This is crazy.
That'd be so epic. I wonder if just literally everyone being more offensively capable in the league, just like the baseline level of offensive skill, I wonder if that's put defense at a premium or back at a premium, just because like even the worst engine you could throw out there is still like Jalen Suggs is more skilled offensively than probably some 90s all-star point guard who was there for his offense.
John Stockton. Yeah, we don't have to talk about that, guys. Everybody's good in their own right. Every era's legends. Everybody's equal. That's what I say. Participation trophies all around.
Imagine all the kids who could have been John Stockton, but they died on the court during the game because of the vaccine.
Damn, I heard that number was like 12,000 last year.
Something crazy. Ask John about it. He's got it on lock.
I was talking to John Stockton the other day, and he pulled up Google Maps, and he showed me a graveyard that he was like, they built this graveyard in 2021. It is filled purely with kids who collapsed on the basketball court after taking the vaccine. I said, John, that's not true. Then he showed me 2 more graveyards like that, and I started to believe him. I was like, there's no way he would have 3 locations that are all like this.
John Stockton in the Dream Team documentary. I can get off the bus and no one knows it's me. No one's mobbing me. No, John, they knew. They didn't care. they knew. They didn't care.
Oh, man. Do you have any final... I mean, the only other thing I wrote down was KCP. 3 of his last 17 three-point attempts. So he kind of got it back for a second there. It's left again.
Calvin Booth masterclass?
Hey, we'll get to the Nuggets. We gotta wait a second because maybe something happened with them with a team that's pretty far down on this list, but we'll talk about them. Any final Nuggets or Magic thoughts? Damn.
No.
Get them out of my face. The Knicks. 2-2 week. They beat the Hornets. They beat the Raptors. They lose to the Pistons. They lose to the Hawks. We're kind of geniuses. We kind of put out an episode about the Atlanta Hawks right before they completely emasculated and embarrassed the Knicks on their home court. We kind of know ball at the absolute highest level. We understand all of the ins and outs of the game. And anybody who ever disagrees with us, we just point them in that direction to that video and be like, look, we predicted all of this. We know ball.
I don't know if we talked about that game at all in the Hawks. Like, I don't even know if we said, oh, they got a game coming up.
I think it was mentioned one time. I think literally the guest, D. Lee, said, oh, they're playing the Knicks tonight. And we were like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. So DeAndre Hunter's crazy. What's up with his catch and shoot stuff, man? Yeah, but so the Hawks loss, it's tough. And it's just, I don't know. I've seen a lot of like Knicks doom posting on my timeline after this week. I don't know how valid that is. These are just a couple of like pretty troubling losses, and beating like the Hornets and the Pistons doesn't make me feel any better. Or beating who was the Hornets and the Raptors, my fault. They lost to the Pistons, and then they obviously had that loss to the Hawks. What do you think about the Knicks right now?
The overall sentiment I'm getting from the fan base is people are like, this year we don't really care about. This year's a gelling year to get our chemistry down with these guys because they're pretty much all going to be on contract going forward, right? I don't think they're losing anybody.
Yeah,
But so they're because this team just won't beat the Celtics, especially how they're playing right now. It's just the Jalen Brunson Towns combo is a little tough, and then Mikal Bridges. It's hard because people are complaining about his quickness that like he wasn't able to contain Trey Young, but he was put in tough spots. Like he was just playing from behind the whole time. I don't even know prime Mikal Bridges can would and Trey Young. It wasn't like the most efficient game in the world.
yeah. They didn't lose the game because Mikal Bridges couldn't guard Trey Young.
Yeah, and so it is interesting that the Hawks put Trey Young on him on the defensive end so much, and they weren't worried about getting cooked in that capacity. But yeah, right now, like there were just some bad defensive breakdowns in that game where they're getting like wide open dunks because there was just a play where where it was the lob to somebody where Towns and Brunson were just down low and they both just inexplicably just both came up and just
Yeah,
vacated the entire area behind them. And I'm like, I don't even know what was the plan there.
yeah. Uh, Bad defensive breakdowns. Kind of the story of the season for them so far. It definitely feels. It feels like they only win one way when they score a million points and they win in a shootout. And sometimes those like some most of the time those are blowout games where they are just like extremely efficient and everybody's hitting all the shots that they're really good at. I think the Nuggets game in Denver where OG had 40 is like a good example of one of those where it's just not close the whole time. And they are a talented enough offensive team where if they only win games that way, they'll probably win like 45, 48 games in this conference or whatever they're on pace to do right now. It's just looking at both last year's Knicks team and the variety of ways that they were able to win games, even when they were having off shooting nights or even when the other team was shooting exceptionally well. It felt like that Knicks team could dig in. They could win games with their shooting. They could win games with their defense. They could win games purely off hustle. Like there are games where, uh, like the whole game hangs in a couple of possessions, and DiVincenzo and Hart and a couple of other guys are like laying out on the line. Hartenstein last year, just everybody's putting it all on the line and swinging those possessions in favor of New York. None of that has gone the Knicks' way so far this season, and they've only really won just on those like nuclear shooting nights. Looking at that as to how it will translate into the playoffs, pretty scary. That's not like a good recipe for playoff success, and especially when you look at how they've broken down in the clutch, in the biggest moments of these games. I think they're still the third or fourth worst clutch team by net rating in the entire NBA. And I know for a fact that everyone below them, it's like the Wizards, the Bulls, the Pistons, like unserious basketball teams. And so, yeah, I'm fine with there not being like if you're a fan and you're trying to cope with the Mikal Bridges trade and this being the first look at what it looks like when this team is quote unquote all in. They've pushed all their chips to the middle. I'm fine with there like not really being expectations for this year. As someone from the outside who's not trying to cope with that, I expected them to be better. And it's disappointing that they can only figure out how to win when they're just beating the brakes off of people offensively.
We did get a comment from Henry Cates, was it maybe? He did say we're too doomer about the Knicks, which maybe that is fair. I don't know. We'll see how the rest of the season plays out. But Towns came out and said he compared them to the Heat. He said Miami Heat years ago with LeBron had a whole year it took before they figured out how to put a banner up.
Meh.
I don't have a crystal ball. I can tell you that every day we're working to be the best version of ourselves. And so I will say they are. So for some Knicks optimism, to inject
Yes.
some Knicks optimism, over the last 10, they are ninth in offense and ninth in defense. And for all the concern about Mikal Bridges not playing up to his trade, Josh Hart is still playing insane basketball through 25 games. He's still shooting. That was he just made threes last year in the playoffs, and that was a thing we talked about. Like, okay, what does this team look like when he comes back down to normal and he's not making threes?
This is
isn't a guy
normal.
this isn't a guy who makes threes. Now it's normal. He's shooting 40% through 25 games. He's still like 69 or 68% true shooting, scoring overall. He's shooting 78% at the rim. So, and he's a good defender. So, he's an incredible player right now.
Yeah.
And then he's given out good quotes, like when what he gave us a good insight against about the game against the Raptors. He said that in the second half Jalen Brunson kept saying, "I want Dick. I'll take Dick." And so it seems this team is trying, but Brunson is pretty visibly bad, like just straight up bad on the defensive end.
Mm-hmm.
And then Towns goes in and out. If it is inconsistent. So honestly, I don't even know if Mikal, he gets a lot of the blame, but I don't know if he's the
Yeah.
biggest issue.
I feel like a lot of people kind of expected him. I expected his defense to be way better. I'll say that much. Like I was willing to be like, hey, he's on the Nets. He's got this huge offensive load. Blah blah blah. Get him into a situation where they're only asking him to make corner threes. His defense will rebound. That hasn't been the case. But I definitely didn't expect him. It feels like a lot of people were like, this is a second OG Anunoby in terms of how it's going to like impact our defense. This is two like straight up all defensive first team wings that will cover up a ton of glaring flaws in terms of what Karl Anthony Towns is as a defensive anchor. And I think they also probably expected Cat, like there was a lot of leftover Gobert juice, it feels like, where playing with Gobert, people were like, hey, he's been a part of some great defenses. He was just a part of this defense that we were calling one of the best of all time before the Mavs series. So he'll probably be serviceable. And I agree with you, he has gone like in and out, but to me it feels like if he's not like making a highlight play or going for a highlight play, the I don't know. It's not a hot take. The lows are just really low. It can get very ugly with Cat. And when you pair that with an underwhelming start from Bridges, and I agree, bad Jalen Brunson. Like he tries, I guess, but that's not really saying that much. And he doesn't always try. Sometimes his offensive load is so much that he's really disengaged on that end of the floor. And it's just nasty.
The thing about Mikal Bridges is he always, I think, has been a better team defender than he is an on-ball defender. Like he's never really been locking up guys in like the Kawhi sense. So if there is some optimism to be had, I think it would involve Mitchell Robinson comes back, stays healthy, so that's a little tough. But he slots in at the 5, and then Towns is back down at the 4. Then he's more comfortable there. He can guard centers on the ball, and then Mitchell Robinson can just be a roamer, and they could recreate Minnesota a little bit that way. Mikal goes back to normal. Just I don't know, maybe he's hurt or something. What injuries did he have last year?
I don't know off the top of my head. Do you want me to look?
He had some stuff going on, so that
It's
stuff
so
is
funny
messing
to
with
just be
him.
like, maybe he's hurt. He's playing bad. Hey, maybe he's not healthy. Who knows? How are we supposed to know?
I saw some people complain about his quickness against Trae Young, but I don't know. Trae Young's just a pretty quick guy. So, and then they just have so many dudes still. So, presumably, I feel like everything can turn around, but the Jalen Brunson defense is always going to be a big weak point, and
Oh yeah.
that's just not something that I just don't think they could beat the Celtics when that's there. But if something were to happen with the Celtics and they blow up, and then the top teams in the NBA, and something happens to OKC,
Mm-hmm.
then they're the type of team that could win a championship when other rosters are also flawed as well. But
Yeah.
just in this perfectionist NBA, it's just probably not going to happen.
Yeah. Like if OKC and Boston disappeared, and it's like, hey, could they? They'd have their hands full with the Mavs for sure. But could they beat the Mavs? Maybe. Could they beat the Cavs in a series? Maybe. There's paths forward when you look at matchups like that. Whereas with the Celtics, it's just like, damn, they're probably gonna isolate on Brunson every time, and it's probably gonna work most of the time.
But he'll get his get back, right? Oh, he's playing Derek White,
Shit.
Drew Holiday, or Tatum, or it's gonna be someone tough on him.
Oh man, yeah. Only shit I wrote down for the Knicks beyond that, just a bunch of Atlanta stats. So, yeah, I'll save the Atlanta stuff for the Atlanta segment. I guess I will just say, they looked like an old team that didn't have depth. Very classic Tibbs. I think the starters averaged 37 minutes in this game across all 5 of them, and in the fourth quarter they gave up 11 offensive rebounds, and in transition they were just getting brutalized the whole time. I mean, Atlanta's a really good transition team, but it really stood out. Nobody could get back in the second half for the Knicks. So, yeah, I don't know. We have one lobbyist request for the Knicks. Pete, shout out Pete, says Cat and Brunson are the new Shaq and Kobe and will win an NBA championship for New York. This year? Next year? Discuss. It's kind of what we just did. Pete, were you listening?
It won't happen this year. If they were, who's a team in the West? Like if they were just matched up against the Mavericks, cool. Is that something they could win?
I mean, it's something they could win, but it's far from a lock.
Yeah, I do think it would be possible.
I mean, I would probably still go Mavs, depending on like health and everything. Just because I like at that point, it's like, okay, are the Mavs worse offensively than the Knicks? I know the numbers all lean New York, but I'm a lot more confident in pretty much everybody the Mavs have in a playoff setting. It feels like that recipe for offense is a bit more reliable, and it's definitely been through more playoff battles than New York has. And then on the other end of the floor, I believe way more in Dallas getting stops on New York than in New York getting stops on Dallas. Like if they're putting like Cat in the Luka Lively pick and roll or something, that's going to be pretty tough.
Yeah, they just it's kind of this year specifically. It's just kind of like it's like a Kevin Durant Warriors situation where it's like, Jill, let's just wait this out. Let's just see. Whenever this empire crumbles, we'll be ready.
Yeah.
But
And
it's
last
just
time,
not gonna happen.
when that happened, I was like, I'm never like, please, someone get injured, someone fucking blow out their knee or something. But I was, when the Kevin Durant stuff was going on, I was like, hey, that's the only way I see this changing, is if somebody like on the Warriors goes down. And I mean, maybe if you get to play the Celtics without Porzingis, maybe that matters. It didn't last year, but I don't know.
Now they got Peyton Pritchard.
Now they got Peyton Pritchard. Al Horford's still immortal. Nothing ever changes. Do you want to talk about the Heat?
I suppose.
Let me timestamp this bitch. The Heat 4-0 this week. They beat the Lakers, the Suns, the Cavs, and the Raptors. What was that?
4-0.
Shut the fuck up. Talk about the Heat. What do you like? How do you feel about the Heat? 4-0, and you're making jokes. This is serious stuff, man.
9-11.
What?
That's their offense and their defense. Offense is number 9. Defense is, so this is a team that's on a little bit of a run. They're 4-0. They have a number 9 offense, number 11 defense. Their offense has been exploding. They had 3 straight games where they scored at least 121. Now they were against some bad teams. The Lakers collapsing, but it's the longest such streak in franchise history. Or well, it's tied it. They've done it twice before. They're the 5 seed, so you think that things are going pretty well for them, right? But
Yeah.
the biggest story with them is like, hey, let's get rid of Jimmy. We're going to trade our best player.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what's going on. I suppose maybe they're just looking at the writing on the wall. They're like, you know what? Probably not going to beat the Celtics, but that hasn't been their MO the past years, the like past 5 years or whatever. And they seem like they should have an irrational belief that they can beat the Celtics
Yeah.
if they had Jimmy fully healthy or whatever. They've been so stubborn this entire time, but it seems like they might actually pull the plug for the first time in I don't know when the last time they've done this.
Literally, what the fuck were they even doing when they traded for Jimmy? Was that like
It was pretty out of nowhere.
Was Dwayne Wade still playing?
He played with Jimmy yeah, he did play with Jimmy in Miami, but when he first went there, he might have been in Chicago. But Jimmy, it was a surprise that he went to Miami.
Yeah.
Because everyone thought he was going to like the Rockets or whatever. They had Bam. It was probably those like purgatory teams, Tyler Johnson and whoever else was on there.
Yeah.
Was Luol Deng there? I don't know.
What year is this? 2020? Is this 2020 straight up?
I think it would have been a little before. I don't know.
Because in 2019, that's the Kawhi buzzer beater. Jimmy was in Philly for that. And so then off season is probably when they trade him. So, yeah, 2019-20 is his first year with Miami. Damn, what was I going to say? Something about... Okay, so, like, they are 9-5 over the last 14 games. Like you said, 9-11, offense, defense, all that shit. It's very out of character, I agree with you, for them to be like, okay, we're already here, and Bam has not been playing as well as we know he can, and Jimmy has obviously not been playoff Jimmy Butler, and we're getting, like, maybe an all-star season out of Tyler Hero. Genuinely one of the best offensive guards in the league so far this year. For them to be like, let's wrap it up. Let's throw it in. This season's a wash, guys. It's like Pat Riley got brain damage. Like, he fell down and he's like had a complete 180 in how he approaches the sport of basketball. I don't know, because there's been a lot of conflicting reports. Shams has quote unquote stood on business, as the kids like to say.
Yeah.
So Shams reports that there's shopping Jimmy around, or Jimmy would like to be traded somewhere. And I think I saw a tweet that made sense where someone like broke it all down, where they were like, what probably happened was Jimmy's agent sent out stuff to all these teams, and they're like, could be cool if the Suns or the Rockets or whoever. And then Shams' sources got a hold of that in those different franchises. They reported it to him. He reports it to us, obviously. And then to the public, Jimmy Butler's agent just has to like deny. And so, I don't know. To me, it makes sense to trade Jimmy. I don't think this Heat team is going to do anything serious in the postseason. I don't think they're moving towards anything serious. And I think the longer you wait on Jimmy, it's just a situation where you lose leverage in terms of like paying him, losing him for nothing, all this stuff. So, yeah, I think he'll probably be gone. Bam has been playing better, though. His last 14 games, he's 16 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists on 54% true shooting. That's not great, but it was terrible to start the year. So now just normal bad is chill with me.
Yeah, that agent is like, he's lying, and then people are like, you're the same guy who said at one point he's not hurt, and then here he doesn't have an MCL injury or something, and then like 5 hours later it's like Jimmy Butler's out with an MCL.
Cool.
So not the most reliable guy. But yeah, so the issue for anyone who doesn't know, the issue with Jimmy Butler is he wants an extension to his current contract. I believe it's only one extra year, but he wants an extra year. He wants to go from 2 years left to or wait, I think it comes to this year. Basically, he wanted a contract to go from 2 years, 100 million to 3 years, 160. So he wants one more year worth 60 mil, but he would be 37 years old. So how good is a 37-year-old Jimmy Butler going to be? Probably not worth 60 mil, even with NBA inflation. So he wants to go somewhere where they're going to pay him his final payday. Windhorse is saying that he does want to stay in Miami, but he just wants the money.
Yeah.
So I think money will probably be the priority. But they put out a wish list. It includes the Suns, the Warriors, the Mavericks, or the Rockets. So are any of these realistic? So Suns, no, because it would involve a Bradley Beal trade, and it would make no sense to trade for a guy worse than Jimmy, who's on contract for longer. The Mavs, it will not happen. They don't really have a way to do it without giving up like 3 guys. The Rockets could happen. Would you give up Dylan Brooks for Jimmy Butler?
Yes, 110% yes.
Dylan Brooks, Steven Adams.
I was thinking Jalen Green for this,
and then picks. Oh, I wonder. Oh, are they allowed to?
I mean, allowed to how? Do you mean like does the money work or what?
Yeah. Well, like, or is there like a recently signed extension thing going on?
Maybe. I know that's the deal with Markkanen, who signed his, but I can't remember when Jalen Green signed his. I know Lowry waited specifically 1 day later so that he would not be eligible to be traded until 1 day after the trade deadline. I think 6 months after you sign your extension, you're eligible to be traded. So I don't know when that day is for Jalen Green. I'm just saying, like, if that lines up, essentially doing like a salary dump that way, being like, this guy's not good, we don't want him anymore. The Heat, if you're looking, like, if this is, because that's the other part. If the Heat are selling Jimmy, are we like retooling around Hero and Bam, or are we like looking in the mirror and being like, this is not working, they'll blow this up?
I think they're retooling because Pat Riley will never blow it up and rebuild.
Yeah.
He's a crazy guy. But Jalen Green is only making $12 million this year.
Oh, so shit! It doesn't kick in.
They're going to need to throw in some guys. They're definitely going to need to throw in Dylan, who's making 22, and then Steven Adams. And people have said like they could throw in Jabari. They could do a lot of things, but I'm not giving up any of the enticing young guys. Like even Reed Shepherd, I'm not giving up Reed Shepherd for Jimmy.
No, if you can add him, it's cool. But are you going to win a title with him? Even like in the next couple years, no. It just probably is like a fun, like, portion of your team.
Yeah, and so I wonder. I feel like they wouldn't be interested in Jalen Green, because even if you want to go Heat culture route, they're like, well, he's playing for Ime. That he's pretty tough, but it's just probably if you're Miami, I wonder do you think they would accept Dylan Brooks and just like role players, and then how many picks would have to get this done?
I don't know. That's the other thing. Is like, again, it's Pat Riley here. This is not like a rational human being who like. This is like trying to trade with somebody who doesn't value like gold or something, and it's like, okay, well, what standard are we operating on here? Because it feels like if you offered Pat Riley 4 picks, Dylan Brooks plus all this other stuff we're talking about, or you offered Pat Riley like you did offer him Bradley Beal, to me, Pat Riley's like old rotting brain is like, well, Bradley Beal's a star. He could help us right now. And so like it doesn't feel like it never feels like role players really move him that much to me. It always feels like he will value guys who are conceptually really good, even if that's not the reality of who they are, more than like draft stuff, even though they're a team that's pretty good at drafting. So like you could make that shit valuable if you really wanted to.
One of the things I'm seeing a lot from Heat fans is they're mad at him because he will give anyone a bad contract. Like he gives out so many different bad contracts to guys, except for the franchise guys. Like Dwayne Wade, no, buddy,
we're not
cutting
paying him.
ties. Jimmy Butler, we're cutting ties. Josh McRoberts, come on in. Tyler Johnson, come on in. But yeah, it's just they operate in a funny way. But
Yeah.
another destination, maybe the most real destination for Jimmy is the Warriors. They would have to include Wiggins. Do you include Kuminga? Would both sides be okay with Kuminga?
I would rather, if I'm the Warriors, I'm not trying to include Wiggins. I think the Heat would probably be okay with Kuminga.
Well, I think you have, because Kuminga
doesn't make enough money.
Yeah, I think you have to throw in Wiggins for the money.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like
because Jimmy's making 48 this year, and so yeah, Draymond's making 24. They wouldn't trade Draymond, and then Wiggins is making 26. So he would have to be a part of this pretty much.
Yeah. I think the Warriors probably say yes, but the Heat probably say no. If I had to guess. I don't know though. It depends. Like if literally every other team is offering shit, and then it's Kuminga, Wiggins, and a little draft stuff or whatever. Then if that's like the best offer, maybe they listen to it. I don't know.
Wait, so did Kuminga sign the extension or no? He doesn't have one, right?
He didn't.
Yeah.
I don't believe he signed.
So I wonder if the Heat would be into him. Maybe they would. I feel like Pat Riley would be into Wiggins.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a rise from the ashes story. He's a true American hero. You know, he pulled himself up by his bootstraps. He stopped all that isolation bullshit. He locked in, played some defense. Now he's an NBA champion, baby. Yeah. That's all I got on the Heat. They beat the Cavs, like I said, on the second night of back-to-back.
Well, Evan Mobley injury, fake victory.
Fake. It's all fake. Nothing's real in the NBA. I think that's a permeating theme of this episode. The Grizzlies win over the Celtics, second night of a back-to-back. Not real. I mean, nothing's real. The Bucks.
Well, wait. I've got
got?
Erase the timestamp. Hold on. I've got two dark horse trade candidates for Jimmy Butler because I was going through. I was like, where could this guy possibly end up? I was hoping. I was like, could we get Minnesota? But no, the second apron. Bizarre rules. Like you have to. You can't do mismatch trades. There's bizarre stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
But what if? Would you be interested in the Pistons? The Pistons could get him for Tobias, Tim Hardaway Jr., and someone cheap like Marcus Sasser, and then probably just throw in picks. Would that be worth it to just be like, we kind of got to start winning? Let's just get Jimmy Butler for culture, make like a little lower seeded East playoff run this year. Maybe he'll teach Cade how to work.
To me, no. But I'm not emotionally invested in the Pistons. I'm not in year 5 of a rebuild doing the shit that the Pistons are doing right now. So maybe it would be worth it to them. But to me, it's just kind of like, because I saw another crazy tweet I was going to bring up during their segment where it's like they, if you think about it, really never have an extra draft pick. Rebuilding this whole time.
The Pistons?
Yeah, they do very little to like accumulate draft capital for the most part. And so
they didn't have any guys to jumpstart the rebuild with.
I guess. And so if you think about it that way, it's like, okay, well, we only have our own picks, and we'll give them up for Jimmy Butler, ages 35 to 37, and then we're like pretty much in the same spot. Maybe we have like prime Cade, and Jaden Ivey's really figured it out, but for the most part, yeah, we're still behind the 8 ball. We have like solid young guys, and not much else built. So I wouldn't do that. Would you?
It would have to depend on the picks. Like, let me see. Am I able? I have the trade machine open. Let's see
Nice.
what picks the Detroit Pistons actually
That's
have.
the
They're
trade
10 and
machine
15. Wow.
sounds. Pew, pew,
Um.
pew.
So the where do I? Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Okay.
So they have their own 2026, their own 2027, their own 2028, their own 2029,
Okay.
their own 2030, their own
Okay.
2031. So they got
Okay.
all these. They got all their picks. They don't have. Yeah, they don't have anyone else's. They have one second rounder. Oh, they have a second rounder from Toronto, with no protections from this year. So that could be pick 31 or 32.
Nice.
But and then they have a few different second rounders from other teams. But yeah, what if what if you were like 2031? Take that one.
Then yeah, I guess whatever. But I also don't know why why are the Heat taking back Tobias Harris and Malik?
Because he plays games. Pat Riley wants dudes who plays games.
I guess, yeah, that's true. Maybe that would work. Personally, I don't like it, but I'm not an old man who was good for the Lakers 40, 50 years ago.
Who was on top of the suit game? Timeless
Oh my
suits.
God! So the menswear guy on Twitter, one of the biggest Pat Riley glazers of all time.
Yeah, my menswear friend, Pat Riley Fashion Glazer. The and then the final team. What if cheeky San Antonio? What if they're like full on? We got old man Chris Paul. Let's get old man Jimmy Butler in here. Let's teach Jimmy how to win. Same type of vibe as the Pistons. They would only have to give up Harrison Barnes, Zach Collins, and Keldon Johnson, and then probably some kind of pick. Let me pull up what picks they got going on. Would you be interested? And the thing is, they're already kind of winning, right? Like they're already not a disaster. So if they just wanted to go get Wemby early playoff tick, could it be in the cards?
That makes more sense to me than the Pistons, where it's like so if you look around, you're like, okay,
The Spurs are the 11th seed, 12 and 12, right with the Kings, the Suns, and the Timberwolves. And
Yeah.
they game back from the Lakers. Oh, and the Nuggets are right there too.
Shut up. No one's trying to hear that shit. Damn, dude. Damn. Oh, the Nuggets. Everyone's trying their best. Okay. So if you look at like Vassell, Stephon Castle, Jeremy Sohan, Wemby, that's your young core. Maybe you add to that. I don't know. Would you rather have like one more solid pick? If you could trade for Jimmy and be like, Jimmy, go get your mind right this year. We'll give you the extension, all that. Just let us get a pick this year, and then next year, oh my God, we'll lock in. That could be cool. I just feel like maybe that young core, you want to do everything you can to like set Wemby up for success the whole time. And while I like what they're building, it just feels like if one of those guys doesn't pan out, then it's not as good as it could be, and you're probably kicking yourself for doing the Jimmy Butler trade, even if it results in like a really cool, fun first round series.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I would prioritize youth, but Popovich seems like a win now kind of guy too, even though he's not there and we don't know when he's coming back. But I feel like he's probably still got his tentacles all in the throes of the direction of the franchise. And so if they wanted to, it would be an interesting move in terms of like you're pairing Jimmy Butler with a star right now, but it will be over pretty soon, and you'll have 60 million off the books in 2 years or three years, whatever. But yeah, almost definitely it wouldn't lead to anything beyond Wemby gaining experience. And just cool vibes for the Spurs who've been losing for too long, but they have Wemby already, so who knows if they need the vibes. But so what is funny is they do have the Bulls pick this year that's protected top 10. So if our mindless single cell caveman amoeba freak front office, if they mess this season up somehow and we finish with pick 11 and the Spurs get it, would you? Well, actually, then they would give up their own first round pick this year if it was like mid lottery.
Are you asking me
It's-
if I would do it like after the lotteries, like this off season?
Let's say the Spurs have pick. Oh yeah, because that would be in the off season.
Mhm.
If you're Miami, would you accept that Bulls pick right
Pick
now?
number 11 plus Collins, Barnes, and Keldon Johnson.
Well, they would have to take the risk that the Bulls don't that the Bulls are a top 10 worst team. What are the Bulls right now? They're number 9.
Yeah, I'm not betting against the Bulls being mediocre. There's just too much of a precedent there for them to fucking limp over the line into pick number I guess so. If the Bulls are like a stupid team that falls into the play-in tournament, they probably don't get that.
Well, they don't
pick.
have to fall. They don't have to fall into the play-in. They just have to fall outside the top 10. So 11, 12, 13, and 14.
Okay.
There's 4 spots. So the people behind the Bulls right now, well, Indiana has the same exact record, then San Antonio, then Sacramento, then it's Phoenix and Minnesota.
Yeah, if I'm the Heat and I could just get like the Golden State package we were talking about, and I get I don't know what firsts they have left. It might just be 2031, but
yeah, I think that's it for them.
yeah, I'd probably rather have that than like roll the dice on the Bulls pick and like Keldon Johnson and stuff. The Warriors package sounds better, so that's what I would do.
Yeah, probably not gonna happen.
Can I timestamp
Milwaukee
that?
Bucks timestamp that.
Damn, dude. Fucking 110. Let's call it 111. All right. The Milwaukee Bucks, 2-2 in their last 4. They beat the Magic and the Nets. They lost to the Hawks and the Celtics. Chris Middleton came back, but he's looking a little rusty.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Sorry, I had something in my throat. 7 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. Oh, speaking of throat, we'll get to that in a sec.
Yo!
Hey, yo! Damn, I wish my brain worked that way. Where I like every time I heard anything, I was just yo, pause. Oh my god, dude. Chris Middleton, 7 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, 45% true shooting in 3 games back so far. Little rusty, not ideal. 2 of 7 from 3. However, he has 19 assists in these 3 games. How many of those do you think have been to Giannis?
Well, now that you say it, is it like there's 17 to Giannis?
It's 13. You overshot it.
It's quite a lot.
I
mean, that's the guy on the team. That's actually one of their best players, so it's good. He's passing him.
Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy. I went back and watched all of his assists, and I was like, damn, he's way better at finding Giannis on the roll.
So how is it coming? Is it just straight up pick and roll?
I tracked it. I believe so. He had 13 assists to Giannis. 4 of them were kind of like Giannis bailed him out. He didn't like set him up in any particular way. It was like a mid-range fadeaway or something. Okay. And I want to say, I wrote it down, but my notebook's across the room. I want to say like 8 of them came in like legit pick and roll scenarios, but pretty much all of them, besides like the mid-range looks, came in scenarios where if it's not a pick and roll, Giannis is still like moving off the ball, like it's an off ball back screen or whatever for Giannis for a lob, and Chris finds him. So it's just like, it's glaringly apparent how well he and Middleton work together and understand where both of them need to be in order for Giannis to get like dunks and layups and stuff. And what's kind of frustrating is like, especially in the pick and roll possessions, it's not like angles that Middleton has access to because he's 6'7" and Dame just like can't get the ball or can't see them. It's like pretty basic bounce passes between defenders and stuff. So I don't know if that will come with time. And I do think they've been running the Dame Giannis pick and roll more. It feels like they've been spamming it a little bit more, which is good. But yeah, that's just something that stands out when you watch Middleton back in the lineups. The whole offense flows a little bit smoother, but him and Giannis specifically as a tandem, they're just very, very good.
It's crazy that they're just back. The East is so bad that they could have that bad of a start, and it
It
just
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter.
That's another theme. I meant to say that with the Heat too. It's just like, we were. My second best player is one of the worst offensive players in the league, and my best player hasn't showed up for 2 months. And it just we're the 5 seed now. Cool. Thanks, guys. Just checking in.
It's nuts. The Bucks are the 6th seed. They're right with them. Dame was already good last month. This month he's even more efficient in the few games they've played. He's 25, 4 and 7 on 68% true shooting.
Mm-hmm.
He's been letting it fly, and that was one of my complaints with him. Is he was seeming to only let it fly when Giannis was off the court, because he didn't want to step on his toes. But now, it seems he's letting it fly more when they're both there, and that'll be the key to success.
Yeah.
But and I saw a video. They said who's most active in the Bucks group chat, and everyone said it's either Dame or Bobby. So
I've been seeing a lot of tweets about that where it'll be like, everybody lock in for the game tonight. #underdog. And that's Bobby Portis. And then it's like, Dame sent an Instagram reel. Dame sent an Instagram reel. Dame sent an Instagram reel. LOL, did you guys see this? And that's just like their whole group chat.
you guys know this girl. You don't know her, right?
Okay, cool.
Okay, good. Yeah. But they will play the Hawks in the NBA Cup. Who are you taking?
Damn. This is tough.
If they win the NBA Cup, is the Dame trade a success?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that's what you do it for, you know? You do it for rings. So everybody can like nitpick here and there everywhere else, but once the banner goes up, then there's not really that much that anybody else could say. Absolutely a success. I want the Hawks to win because the vibes are just so sick. Like, I love Jalen Johnson, and the win over the Knicks was so good, and I love all of the stuff that they have going on, but my heart says that the Bucks will come like locked the fuck in for that game, because when they lost to the Hawks. I'm pretty sure it was directly after they lost to the Celtics as well, if I'm not mistaken. It was like a second night of a back-to-back, like I've been saying, and so that was another thing where they're already an old team that's not great at like running and transition and keeping up for 48 minutes, but especially coming off a game the night before, it was just really difficult for them to stick around. But if they're like well rested in Vegas, all that stuff, I think the Bucks will come locked in. And even if it's like an off shooting night or whatever, I would expect it to be like a crazy Giannis game. Like, if he has to backpack the team, he will, and they'll probably win, I guess.
The Giannis is officially 30 years old.
Unk status.
Enjoy Giannis while you can, everybody. He's on the way out.
Just
What year do we think he'll be bad by?
So he just turned 30. It's 2024-25. I think he'll be another aspect of this is like his work ethic is very different from Jokic and Luka, where it's like those two guys. I know Jokic has gotten better, but like they don't give a fuck in the off season, where he like completely transformed his body. And
Well, I think Jokic, he's in good shape. It's not aesthetic.
yeah, I'm just saying, like, Jokic now, absolutely. I'm just saying for like the first 4 or 5 years of his career, he was coming like the first half of every season was like, this is the worst player I've ever seen. Like, he's terrible. Whereas Giannis is like always in the gym, pretty much.
Greek god.
So
he's always in bed. He has a kid every year.
I know,
his wife is perma preg.
He's virile. He's strong, and I think Giannis will probably want to play longer. As a result, it seems like he loves competition, whereas like Jokic and Luka, again, they're like, hey, I'm 34. All right. So if I had to guess, give me 2031. Giannis will be pretty cooked by. But it's hard. Like,
Okay.
Physically, even if he falls off, it feels like there's like him just like as like a really strong layup guy will always be like a pretty good player. Do you think?
Probably. Like, even just it's hard to imagine a version of Giannis that wouldn't just kill everyone off the bench.
Yeah.
And maybe we don't even know how he's such a freak. Maybe he'll just be like LeBron, and he'll just slow down in slow motion. But yeah, that's all I got on the Bucks.
I wrote down more Bucks hate, I would say. I just talked about the Celtics game a little more because they could have won that Celtics game. They went into the fourth quarter up 4 points, and especially without Giannis in the game, it was pretty ugly offense. It was a lot of like Dame fadeaways and Bobby Portis post-ups and stuff. And so, yeah, the way last week I said we could start having like normal concerns about the Bucks. If the goal of this Bucks is to, it's cool if they win the cup, it's a success. But if they also want to win the championship at the end of the season, and to do that they would have to go through Boston, then in this game you do start to see like, oh shit, they could just go at Dame whenever. They could get like Al Horford on Dame, or they could put Jason Tatum, they could get Jaylen Brown, they could get whoever switched on to Dame pretty much whenever they want. And especially if that results in like Brook Lopez getting pulled way out to guard a 3-point shooter, there's like no resistance on the back line, and it gets pretty tough for them. So while the vibes are solid and it's cool that they're not losing to like the worst teams in the league anymore, I'm worried about like that aspect of the team. And then we also have a couple obvious requests. Dakota Maker said, if the Bucks sell high on Bobby Portis, what team is going to be dumb enough to bite? And please tell me it's Orlando for Goga.
Oh,
if Orlando
I don't
does
think
that,
they would be.
They should be dissolved as like a franchise. And then Not Joey Bucket says, apparently I have mono. If I kissed Bobby Portis, do you think the Bucks are still a cup contender? Parentheses, I'd kiss Giannis or Dame just for the love of the game. It's a risk I'm willing to take after the Brooklyn-Milwaukee Game 7 of 2021. So if you kiss Bobby Portis and he gets mono, it's tough because the Bucks, like if he scores well, he did have back-to-back 20-point games. It's cool. He's good off the bench, but most of the time he's like actively destructive for the team. So if he was sick, they're probably better.
Would you trade, let's see, Bobby Portis and let's go Pat Connaughton. Okay. Let's see if this trade works. Where's the trade button? Okay, here it is. Oh, it failed. So, I was trying to do Bobby Portis and Pat Connaughton for Lonzo Ball. Because they are in the second apron, they can't do mismatched trades. They can't trade two guys for one guy. Has to be an equal amount of guys. Do the Bulls have anyone in salary just making nothing? Sanogo? Can we trade Sanogo, or are we allowed to?
It's a no-go.
It's a success.
Oh,
Lonzo
shit.
Lonzo and Sanogo for Portis and Connaughton. Who says no?
Is there any draft stuff for what do the Bulls get out of this?
The Bulls get Bobby Portis out of this.
Oh, okay. That seems like something the Bulls would do.
And Pat Connaughton. So you got to realize Bobby Portis actually used to play for the Bulls, and we actually drafted him, and he's just a lunch pail kind of guy. So Jerry Reinsdorf probably likes him, and he would like to bring him back. And also from Arkansas, Scottie Pippen also. And then Pat Connaughton, white boy from Notre Dame. So he'll really resonate with the Wrigleyville residents of Chicago. So
cool. I like that. Yeah, I think the Bucks say yes to that.
Okay.
All right. The Atlanta Hawks. Oh my God, we're so smart. 3-1 this week. They beat the Knicks, the Lakers, and the Bucks, and they lost to the Nuggets. The Knicks win was really good. I mean, what do you think about the Hawks? What do you want to talk about?
I think we got the only thing I wrote down is that they beat the Knicks. It was a decent game. It wasn't even...
Jesus, give 100 points to the best offense in the league.
I mean, Trey had 22, Jalen Johnson had 21 on 22 and 21 shots. So wasn't the most efficient outing, but DeAndre Hunter was still good off the bench. It was it's just a good game for the Hawks. Trae Young did the dice roll on the Knicks logo. It was epic.
Yeah, I thought he
Um,
was. I did not think he was rolling dice, and so
what do you
when
think he was doing?
thought he was cranking the hog,
Cranking the Hawk.
cranking the hog.
So no, so dice is actually a pretty vital part of New York City culture and what he's doing. They like to play it out there. So he's actually co-opting their sport on their logo to
Oh.
disrespect them. So
See, I think
yeah.
it'd be more disrespectful if he was cranking the hog on the logo.
if he was spumming on the logo, that's just inappropriate. So
Oh yeah, but
and it
he'd be.
stops now.
It's like alpha, you know. He's like, he's like establishing his own territory and stuff. He's like being like he's like, I'm the alpha. I'm in charge. I kind of own this place.
Guys, comment down below if you would like to see Trae Young spum on the Knicks logo. I wouldn't like it that much.
Wow. I think I'm faithful that the comments will support me on that one. Comment down below, guys. Say yes or no.
You think they're spum pilled?
I do. I think you seriously underestimate our audience. I think you're. I mean, I believe that they enjoyed.
We got spummers in there.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Matthew Spumhauer, car spum from Nerd Sesh. Who else? That's all I got right now.
Rico spums.
Spums. Rico Spums versus Theo Jelks. Oh man.
But if you want more Hawks thoughts, head on over to our previous episode with D. Lee 3, the Hawks expert.
Yeah. That was a great episode. He's really smart. I liked that discussion that we had. Only other stuff I wrote down. So the Hawks had 58 rebounds in this game. That was pretty crazy. Dyson Daniels hammer. They held Jalen Brunson to 14 points on 5
He was picking him up full court.
I'd be pissed. 43% true shooting. DeAndre Hunter 24 points. Knicks bench 14 points. And then we have one lobbyist request. Chris says, what is the ceiling of the Great Barrier Thieves offense?
I'm not super optimistic about it, but what is he doing right now?
I don't think it's crazy. Let me see. You talk.
I just don't think he's that dynamic of an offensive athlete. And so I wonder he's 14 5 and 3 on 51% true shooting. So
yeah.
And then from 3 he's still at 31%. So he's always been more of an opportunistic type offensive player. He's always the passing has always been good, but the scoring has always been lagging behind for
at
him.
Like the rim or in the restricted area. Do you know?
That's I'm pulling up Cleaning the Glass right now.
Oh my god, we're fucking
so
in
he's
sync.
61% at the rim, 39th percent on first position. So he does have a little bit of a cool floater. He's also got that in the bag.
Okay.
But even that is at 43% on short mid shots.
Yeah. He has games where, I mean, obviously he was like one of the big catalysts in their win over the Celtics this year, and the tools are really cool. Where it's like, okay, he's got a nice left hand, and he's 6'7" and really strong and everything, and he could dribble all right. But there's just, when you look at like, for a player to become pretty good offensively, you don't want the starting point to be like, okay, if the layup comes around and the finishing comes around, and
if he shoots and if he finishes and if he becomes more dynamic ball handler.
yeah. So like if like all the stuff on offense, if he gets better at all of it, then we're looking at like a good offensive player, not even like an all-star or anything, offensively at least. If he was like solid on offense plus this level of defense, maybe you get into all-star conversations, but there's so much growth that has to happen. I think holding your breath, waiting for that to come around, maybe it's not the smartest idea.
But to be fair, I didn't bet on him being the best defender in the NBA. So he's always been good, but I wouldn't have predicted it would reach these heights.
Okay. Who's after the Hawks? Hawk Tua, get out of my face. 130. Let me scroll down. Blah blah blah. Oh, the Nets. I didn't write down a single thing about them. They went 1-3 this week. They beat the Pacers. They lost to the Bucks, the Bulls, and the Magic. What do you got?
I didn't either. I fell asleep. I apologize, Brett Phobic and the other guy. Who? Let's do it. Do it live.
Fuck it. We'll do it live. Let me pull up their stats from the last 4 games. Let me see their players. Shit. Who's leading the team in scoring? All of that stuff. So Cam Johnson over the last 4. Well, he's only played in 3 of these games, but he's still 26 points per game, 50% from 3 on 9 attempts. Pretty good, but like beyond that, I mean, they're still losing. I know Dennis Schroeder gave some team a pretty difficult time, but I can't remember. It was probably the Bucks, I think. Yeah, that's who it was. And so, I don't know. They've lost the scrappy edge that they started this season with, where it was like, damn, they're in every game. They're like a little bit over 500. This is crazy. Now it's kind of just like, yeah, do the fire sale when you can. There's no real benefit to like keeping this team together.
There's been some weird rumors about buying out Ben Simmons. There's no way that they do that. Well, there would be zero upside to doing that. But yeah, with them, it's just a lot of trade talk. Jake Fisher says they're open for business. Shams is saying that the Warriors could be interested in Dorian Finney-Smith, Dennis Schroeder, and Cam Johnson. So it's just this is a team that I wonder if Cam Thomas will end up being moved. How old is Cam Thomas?
I want to say 24, but I could be wrong. He's not old. I mean,
I wonder if he's
Cam
worth
Johnson?
keeping. No, I mean Cam Thomas.
Okay, cool.
Do you think if you're them, do you have to trade him?
No. If I'm them, he's probably the only player I keep. Because, like, for all of our, like, empty stats guy, he's young, and he's had flashes where he's been a legitimately great scorer before. And so, that, I don't know. It doesn't feel like you would get that much back for him. Maybe if some other team really believes in him, and they're like, hey, we'll give you 3 firsts, or 2 firsts, or whatever, then that's something I would consider. But for what I assume the going price is on a guy of that level, I wouldn't sell him.
Yeah, probably not. So we'll see what this could be. This could be a fun second half for the Nets in terms of just look at all the picks we got for our guys.
Yeah. So this could be a fun
I would
second
love
half.
that. I'd be jealous.
This could be a fun second half for the Nets in the sense of like it's some of the worst basketball you've ever seen this franchise play. But
it's for a purpose.
Yeah. It's not just
and
just
you can
like
see Ben Simmons show.
I love the Ben Simmons show. It's my favorite show on TV right now.
I'd much rather be tanking than competing with a mediocre trash team.
Well, I mean, as long as you get a top 10, surely you guys will get a top 10 pick.
Don't call me Shirley.
Certainly, you guys will get a top 10 pick. The
Sir Tinley's my father. Call me Mr. Tinley. That was good by me.
Guys,
that was really good.
Comment down below. Smash your keyboards. Go. Just smash your keyboards. Comment that down below.
Smash your pass, Hillary Swank. We'll be right back on Kiss FM.
Smash your pass. Damn, we should do a radio show where we call local businesses and we're like, do you have a fart burger? Can I have one of the fart burgers, please?
Someone said we should be on a radio show in a Gotham in an Arkham game. That would be good.
Oh,
that would be a
that'd
lot
be
of fun.
So sick. I don't know. I'd be pro Mr. Freeze. I think that could be a good slant for me because I've always felt bad for him. He was trying to save his wife. he ended up freezing a bunch of shit, and then now he's like disfigured trying to pay medical bills.
Yeah, you would like the cold.
I would. I mean, who would your
But
guy?
by the way, yesterday had to call for emergency help to start my car because it got too cold to start it. So,
Who's your favorite summer themed character?
who is a summer themed character?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I know a bunch of winter themed ones because it's so fun and whimsical, and it's so easy to, make fiction about such a beautiful time of the year. But is there like a mosquito guy? Is there like I'm humidity man.
Troy Bolton.
How is that? Because of the school year. High school. It's not high school. I mean, I guess High School Musical too.
Yeah.
Damn, that is a good one. But like. The first one, most of them take place not during summer.
Phineas and Ferb.
That's a great pull, actually. I will give you Phineas and Ferb for sure. Anything
Princess
else?
Protection Program.
I don't remember that one.
So she's actually a princess, but she comes to a podunk town and learns how to be a real girl.
Oh. Okay.
Demi and Selena in their primes.
I remember there's one of those with like Reese Witherspoon where she goes back to a small town or something. But I don't remember anything else about it.
Big Little Lies.
Hey, the Pacers. Damn. What a fucking desolate. I mean, from here on out, it's just a wasteland of basketball teams.
Just waste, man.
Like, if you've ever read The Great Gatsby, how they describe
summer,
how they describe the land between the two rich neighborhoods with like the mechanic in it and everything. He's like, it's like a nuclear bomb went off. Everything's gray and covered in ash, and everyone's sharing one pair of overalls, and they rotate out every 16 hours, and so a bunch of people only have on barrels and socks with holes in them, and there's one piece of bread that they all take.
One piece?
That's what from here on out is that like it's the wastelands of NBA basketball. The Pacers went 1-3 this week. They beat the Bulls. They lost to the Hornets, the Nets, and the Raptors. Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam combined for 18 points on 7 of 18 shooting in the loss to the Hornets, who are currently the league's 21st ranked defense. The Pacers have fallen to the 8th worst net rating in the league, and it doesn't feel like things are getting better.
They waived Moses Brown, and TJ McConnell dropped 30. Did you see his 30-point game?
No, I did not. Was it fun?
It's something. The highlights are worth it. Tune in. It's an ethical 30. It's just a little guy without an outside 3-point shot, just getting to the rim. It's incredible. Just straight up crossovers.
Who was
awesome.
this against?
It was against Charlotte.
Okay, all right. Hey, well, I mean, good for him. I bet Nick Richards was still playing. So hey, knock yourself out, TJ McConnell. It's when you're that small, anything's ethical. You could be playing against 5th graders. You'd probably still be pretty ethical.
God, he's so cool.
We have 2 lobbyist requests. Justin Wagler says, my wife says I get my wife. It's Borat. I don't know if you've seen that movie. It's like
No, I'm not racist, so I didn't see it.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. I bought a 30 rack of Bud Light. I poured them all down the sink, and then I turned on Borat the other day, and I was like, "This is so good! Oh man, this guy's hilarious!" And then
this guy's just joking. Certainly, he's not actually racist, right? Let's ask about Palestine.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy that is just how he feels. It was how he felt the whole time. Like, yeah.
And people in 2007 were just eating it up. They're like, look at this movie. He's being a dumb foreign guy.
Yeah.
And I hate Kazakhstan.
He's being a guy from a real country in a real place. He didn't even make one up.
This is how they are, those guys, because he's doing it.
Yeah. And then it ends in Stan, and we're in the middle of the Iraq War, so any place like that is disgusting and bad.
How did he land Ela Fisher? What's going on there?
She's probably a bad person too, if I had to guess.
Guys, comment down below Ela Fisher's worst crimes.
Marion Sacha Baron Cohen, am I right?
Ah!
They're divorced. Hey, she's based. Oh my god.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. They're divorced. Cool. Thanks,
Free
producer.
Ela Fisher.
She's freed. I mean, free her from what?
Kill him.
Hey, this is a satire podcast.
He's not a CEO. I wouldn't say that seriously.
Yeah, I mean, what benefit are you saying that? Are you saying that it would just bring me great personal pleasure to read a headline like that, like hypothetically in Minecraft, like
Timothy Chalamet, come on the pod.
Timothy Chalamet, come on the pod. We will ask you about Sacha Baron Cohen directly.
Would you cry if he died? That's what I asked him.
Would you cry if he died? Would you do the SNL Hamas gig again if you knew that it was going to happen? Would you do that? Would you do that?
Did you guys talk about having a vigil for Palestine like you did for Ukraine, or no? That didn't come up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's not Tim's fault, I'm sure.
I don't even know. How's Kenan Thompson behind the set? Is he fun? That's probably so cool. I don't know anyone else.
Does he make those wacky faces?
I don't know anyone else.
They actually do have a
SNL
girl
right
from
now.
TikToker, Jane Wickline.
Jane
But
Wickline. She's funny.
She is, but it turns out her mom was like Lorne Michaels' personal assistant, so she didn't even. She kind of came from TikTok, but she had an in. So
I mean,
so we won't make it.
hey, aren't you Mr. Gracie Abrams makes good music, so the nepotism doesn't matter?
It's true, but just in terms of like in terms of us being TikTokers and like, could we end up on SNL? But for a second, it was like, whoa, maybe, but now no.
Whoa,
also, because the
maybe.
app is going away. Also,
the
because
app is gooning away. Oh
No,
my
it was
god,
going
you
away.
guys! Oh my god, you guys!
the only thing preventing me from being on SNL is not wanting to be on it, and them also not being interested, and us having no contact ever between each other's paths.
The only thing preventing me from being on SNL is that I feel like being in the writing room when, like, looking at the ideas that make it to production and looking at how most of those are, like, violently unfunny, because I feel like there's been this resurgence in vibes around SNL where people are like, it's funny again.
Yeah, people on TikTok really like it, like the Domingo thing.
Yeah. I don't know. The first Domingo thing is pretty. The first time I saw it, I was like, this is all right. But like if that's like the apex of where you're reaching, I can't imagine the shit that's being like thrown around in the writers' room. And so like, yeah, just being there. I can't be in the same room when something cringe happens, or else I'll fucking evaporate. Like I can't watch a Disney Channel TV show where somebody like gets embarrassed in front of the whole school. I have to turn the TV off. So for someone to throw out like a shitty idea in the SNL writers' room, I hate that feeling.
Yeah, I can't risk. I wouldn't be able to throw out my own ideas. I'd be too scared. And I'm just not into sketch comedy in general.
I think You Should Leave is pretty funny. Have you ever seen that?
Some of those are funny, some of the clips I see, but I would never sit down and watch it.
We watched it all the way through, me and my girlfriend. I liked it. It's good, but the bit a lot of times is just him yelling in a place where it's like, you should that's not normal. Why are you screaming, bro? And like screaming something a little bit off kilter or strange, but the ones that land in that show are really funny.
Yeah, like the zip line. That's a funny idea.
Hey, she just pantomimed the zip line off screen. It transcends time and space.
And what's the? I'm joking.
That guy's dead. Rest in peace to that
Really?
guy. Yeah, I'm joking.
What happened?
I don't know. He probably took a bite of someone's burger and fucking choked on it.
The Miller High Life guy and Kirby from Zack and Cody is dead too.
Damn, Kirby the janitor?
The big guy, yeah.
Damn, bro. Rest in peace.
Get on the love train.
Love train. Love train. All right. So the pacer Justin Wagler says, "My wife says I give great back rubs. Are my angelic hands enough to save Tyrese Halliburton's career?"
Oh, fly him out, Tyrese. Let's see.
I would say probably not. I would say he probably has like professional masseuses just beating the shit out of him.
This guy's got angelic hands, though.
Hey, maybe if he is straight up like, there's not enough of that in modern society. Everybody's way too questioning of like whether somebody could be sent from God. Like if this was the 1700s, I feel like this guy could be like, no, my hands are like religious artifacts. Like my hands are the reincarnated hands of Jesus or something. And it wouldn't, not everyone would believe him, but you could do anything like that. And like some people, you could get some people to follow you.
Because they didn't know about 10,000 hours. So they didn't realize he just put in his 10,000 hours. This guy probably put in his 10,000 hours on his wife's back.
Yeah. But what if his wife's back is different? What if Tyrese Halliburton has a...
But what if it's the same?
Ooh.
What if he's like, this back, I know this back. The like when they hack in a hacking movies. I know this system.
All right. I mean, what else do we have? Straw Hat Will says, will Jarris Walker ever actually reach his defensive ceiling, or are the Pacers doomed on defense for a while? Buddy, you can take out that defense part. I think they might just be doomed.
Whoa.
Play MF Doom, and now it's Tyrese Halliburton highlights. That could be a fun edit.
I mean, I'm sure the potential is still there. I just haven't watched enough of him to know what's going on. I was always more skeptical about his viability on the perimeter defensively. I thought his feet weren't fast enough to keep up with smaller guys.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how he's held up in those situations this year. So I would have to lock in to see how he looks and see if there's areas for improvement. But I would still believe in him being a high defensive potential guy. And then I don't know what scheme they gotta employ because Caitlin Cooper says they're just stinking it up in every possible way on any given night. So
I like that. I like it when it's not a difficult problem. I like it when it's something that you can turn on the TV and be like, these guys fucking stink. And then someone who's like the smartest person involved with the sport is like, yeah, it's pretty much right. The Bulls. Oh my God, shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Well, just timestamp it for right now. Guys, the Chicago Bulls have been deplatformed. Until they make a trade, they are deplatformed.
We have 2 lobbyist requests.
What are they about?
Okay, so the first page says, because I did strictly, my only bullet point was deplatform the Bulls, I promise. But then I went to Patreon, and I guess not everybody on there is as woke as we are. They don't understand, the travesties that the Chicago Bulls are committing. The first page... Bull I like that. Can Vucevic still contribute to a playoff team looking to make a deep run? If so, what team should trade for him?
He can contribute. Can he start? Can he be a core part? I don't know, but
if you're a playoff team, are you more comfortable with Bobby Portis 20 minutes a game or Vucevic 20 minutes a game?
Definitely Vooch.
Hey.
So who stands out as a team that needs a center and would actually be interested? Could there be an Orlando reunion?
It's possible. To me, that makes like the guy who's like maybe Orlando will trade for Vooch. Shut up. But
what if I got Goga for him?
that would be. I mean, unironically,
that'd be life changing. Goga and Wendell for Vooch.
For 2 teams to trade a bad player back and forth in exchange for a better player right now. that would be crazy. So like the Bulls give up Wendell Carter, and it's like he was already better. But to get, I feel like Goga low key probably better than Vooch right now. I know Vooch is playing out of his mind, but like the bigger the sample size gets, the faster that's gonna go in Goga's direction. So yeah, if you got him back, that'd be incredible. That'd be wonderful.
Would you give up a single pick if you're the Pistons?
No, absolutely not. If you're the Lakers, how do you feel?
What do the Lakers have to give up?
Salary, it would be extremely difficult.
So Vooch is making $20 million.
Yeah.
Let's see. We could probably get D'Lo.
Oh, it would have to be D'Lo or something. So they have the 2031 first, I know. And then beyond that, I know that like outside of their top 5 players, salary-wise, the whole team is making like $50 million. So you would have to scrape together. If you want to keep most of the rotation, you're going to have to, it's just going to be like a slew of bizarre names.
So they are a second apron team, so that really complicates this as well. If I throw in Jalen Hood-Schifino into this trade, and then I throw in EJ Liddell to this trade, is this a trade that's possible? No, it is still not.
Damn it.
Well, no. Well, EJ Liddell, they would have to wait until January 16th.
Okay.
To trade, but I'm sure we could do it with if I swap him out for Sanogo. Does that
Poor
make
Sanogo.
this trade?
He just keeps getting fed into the fucking machine today.
Well, maybe we could give him what's his face
If you
back?
could do
THT.
If you're the Lakers, if you could do Vooch or you could do Valanciunas, and Valanciunas is $10 million. Who would you do?
Wait, what? Wait, what is it?
Valanciunas is $10 million from the Wizards, and Vooch is $20 million for the Bulls. If you're the Lakers,
if you're the Lakers,
yeah, and you could get one, who would you prefer?
probably Vooch just for the spacing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, so if you could do D'Lo and Hood-Schifino for Vucevic and Sanogo, would you give up the pick for that? I wouldn't.
I would not. No. That's so. Oh man, 2031 for this. That's like giving Mozgov that contract back in the day. That's nasty. Okay. And then the second one we have GTG.
I don't know where he's going.
GTG Fast says, Pablo, I want your expanded thoughts on Hot Frosty. Also, if Hot Frosty watched an NBA game on television and learned to play basketball, would he be able to save the Chicago Bulls if he joined the team, even if the rest of the roster is still as bad as it is? Thank you. What's Hot Frosty? What's the deal?
Hot Frosty's incredible. Someone got horny and made a hot snowman in the center of town. Woman puts a scarf on it at night. It comes to life, and then it ends up living with her. And he kind of has like this insane capacity to learn. He just watches TV.
Okay.
And like if he watches cooking channels, he can learn how to cook. If whatever he sees on TV, he can replicate and stuff. So he's kind of OP in that sense.
What if you fed him like Allen Iverson film or something?
That'd be fascinating. So yeah, he's kind of they chose to keep him as just like a sex toy, kind of messed up that this dude is basically an infant and then ends up living with the woman and they end up together. Power dynamic a little bit messed up.
Wow.
But it would be much better to use him as a weapon. If the Sixer scout was in town and he's like, watch this film and then we're gonna come and pay you very little money to pay for this tape, or put on the UFC, Dana White, come put on John Bones Jones tape and see what happens.
Oh my God. If Dana White could like manufacture people who were mentally infants to be UFC fighters, I cannot think of someone
they're infants by the time they're done.
I mean, I fucking guess. Dana White would be like, yeah, this is like, can we get more of this guy? You said it was the center of town. Can we build like, can we just like crank him out? Could I get like 8?
And so what happens is you might think, where does the conflict come in? Besides, because they don't address the wonky power dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
The conflict comes in because he needs clothes because he spawns in naked, and he breaks a window of a clothes store to get in to get some clothes. And so the police, there's never any crime in this town, so the police are like, the one Daryl from the office is the police officer.
Okay.
He's like super try hard about solving the crime because he's like, there's no crime in my town. So he's like trying to track down who broke this window the whole time, and pretty crazy. Like, because he's somehow still a snowman, like because he's part snowman or whatever, he
Mm-hmm.
can't be in too hot of temperatures or he'll start melting.
Damn.
But it's good he can live with the woman because her husband is dead and he was a repairman, and so the AC broke, but she didn't want to call another repairman because her husband was the repairman.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really cold in her house, so he could live there. But at the end, he kind of gets thrown into prison because they catch him for it, and then he starts melting in the prison. Big emotional, crazy scene, and then he comes out, and there something happens that he's human. So then they get to
He gets
be
to
together.
stay.
Yep.
Damn. Is his wiener a carrot?
We didn't get a scene of that. There is kind of there's a sex scene that's not a sex scene where he's helping this older woman get her car out of the snow, and it's just like sex vocab, sex noises, pushing and stuff like that, but just not regular.
Cool.
And
This sounds
all the older women in the movie are super horny for him.
nice. This sounds like a good movie.
It's really good. And
Okay.
like every there's a moment where it's like they tell the whole town that he's a snowman, and they all just accept it, and then she's like, what are you guys talking, why are you okay with this? The main character, she's like, this doesn't sound crazy to you? And then when one character just goes, no, it's Christmas or something. It was great.
Nice. Cool. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna watch that. I think I'll probably
It's so good, dude.
I'll watch the holdovers or something again. Hey, you need to soon. We got to do maybe next. I don't know. Christmas is on a Wednesday this year, so theoretically, if we pre-record, we will have an episode coming out.
Fug.
I don't know when to put out our naughty or nice list. We did the Pacers, deplatformed the Bulls. So guys, for the future, lobbyist requests, none about the Bulls. We're deplatforming them.
Deplatform. We'll platform Bulls hate, but that's it.
Okay, yeah. So if there's a lot of ingredients there. Karnishovas, different directions, horses, ropes, chains, whips, excite me. I don't know. All that kind of stuff.
Rihanna.
Rihanna. Shout out to Rihanna. Shout out to Riri. Shout out to ASAP Rocky. Shout out to the Detroit Pistons. Let me timestamp this bit real quick. 1-3 this week. They beat the Knicks. They lost to the Celtics twice and to the Bucks. The win over the Knicks is cool. Cade had like 24 points, 15 assists. He said something like, I was pretty comfortable against the Knicks defense. They were kind of giving me everything I wanted, and I could surgically pick them apart. They made my life incredibly easy. And I guess the Bucks twice, and the Celtics didn't make his life that easy, so that's why they didn't win those games.
Yeah, there's this. This is another team that I didn't write anything down for, but it seems Vucevic is drawing interest from the Warriors, Lakers, Pelicans, and Pistons.
If the Pistons trade for him, they like, it's the wasteland.
So the top reply on this Reddit thread: having a competent offensive center would do us wonders. Could you imagine? Neither Vooch or Duran can defend worth a shit, but at least Vooch has range. On a potential play-in team, stretching the floor with a center who can shoot is more important than having a rim protector in today's NBA. Is that true?
I like these people. I like these people because they have it's ignorance is bliss. people
Okay,
being like,
well, one guy said, especially if we get capital for taking him on.
nice. Yeah,
Come on.
definitely. The Bulls, I mean, it's just such a savvy front office. And so, yeah, like these people being like, well, at least Vooch has range, a competent offensive center. We have like 2 years of sample size where Vooch has not had range and has not been a competent offensive center. And now for 20 games, he looks like it. Surely that'll maintain. Surely that will stick around, right?
Everyone is saying, I'll give up second rounders for him. And everyone is saying, thank God Jalen Duren, to get Jalen Duren off this team.
He is shooting 51% on layups.
So, bad news.
What?
That.
Oh, I thought you had more.
No.
I was like, yeah, that is bad news. Are you gonna?
Oh, they're showing interest in Kuzma.
Hey, he's from Michigan. He's from Flint, so
Yeah.
maybe. Hey, I'll give you a deal. 2 firsts for Kuzma. He's all yours.
Would you rather? So the Pistons have $10 million in cap space and an $8 million trade exception. Would you rather use that space to get someone to help you win a little bit more this year, or just take in trash player for an asset? Although, is that enough to what trash players making that little? Could they take in D'Lo? Well, no, the Lakers aren't going to give up a pick to get off D'Lo.
Yeah, that's just not realistic. I don't think they're going to be able to like take in trash player at that point. It just doesn't seem feasible.
Yeah. Miles Turner, no, because there's no one so bad. Like the second apron makes everything harder, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Grant Williams. He was He was the Players Association, whatever. Ron Holland had 20 points in the fourth quarter. Did you see that?
Boo! All in the fourth?
I swear it was like a 20-point fourth quarter. Let me double check this real quick.
I did not see that. I'd seen a lot of Ron Holland praise, but I didn't realize he was popping off like that.
Yeah. So in the Celtics game, he had 26 points on 87% true shooting. And in the fourth quarter, he had 20 of those on 8 of 10 from the field and 2 of 4 from 3.
That's pretty epic.
Pretty freaking epic, if you ask me. Other than that, I don't know. It sucks. Like, year 5 of a rebuild, this is like a terrible, horrible Eastern Conference. They're just no good at basketball. And even still, you just can't be competitive if you're the Pistons. You're just like very far away from even being like maybe like it's like they're not even close. And so I don't know. Do you think Jaden Ivey's going to turn it around again?
What has he done lately? He's been pretty inconsistent the entire year. Well, he popped off at the beginning and then he's been going just up and down constantly.
So last 4 games, he is
all right. Stinker, good game. Oh wait, oh no, 2 stink. Well, okay, so he's not doing too well.
Wait, is
this can't be?
Can't be. No, is he bad? You're telling me this is Jaden Ivey as good as Paolo? Jaden Ivey, right? This is no. It's just impossible.
Check it next year. We'll see what's going on.
Hey, we'll see. Hey, Jaden Ivey has 2 obliques. That's all I'll say.
Good Jaden Ivey, one of the most athletic players in the entire NBA, and his shooting growth is real. His versatility as a shooter is pretty good.
Yeah, it's just last 4, 28% from 3. What can you do? You know, it's just a cold stretch. Who cares?
Well, 2 games against Boston. Come on.
Hey, I mean, who can score on those guys?
Not me.
Jaren Jackson Jr., and that's it. The 76ers. Oh, whoa, what the hell? The 76ers 3-1 this week. Let me timestamp real quick. 76ers beat the Hornets, the Magic, the Bulls, and then they also lost to the Magic one time. Embiid played a game and looked good when he did it. 31 points, 12 rebounds in the win over the Bulls. Physically, it just looked like a guy where before you were like, there's no chance this guy plays 4 games in a row. It's just not happening. And now you could probably lie to yourself and be like, we could play 3 playoff series with this guy. His body could handle it for sure.
He was a plus 16 in the Bulls game, but yeah, he was quoted. He talked to ESPN. He said it's depressing the last couple months.
Mhm.
He said there's no injury. He's just between swelling every single game.
Well, that's promising.
Not I fear we may have seen we're past the golden days of Joel
Well, I mean,
Embiid.
like,
Who knew?
what? Okay, so he's 7 feet tall,
Yeah.
300 pounds,
Yeah.
and this is like his 3rd knee surgery?
Give or take.
Okay. Well, I mean, he'll be back. I don't know.
It was only a year ago he was dropping to 70. How time flies.
Well, good thing I was appreciating it in the moment and not being a hater loser like you guys were. Like, because I like real basketball. I'm a real basketball fan, so like, I could overlook my biases to be like, this is one of the greatest players of all time. I didn't need rose-colored hindsight glasses to understand what I was watching.
Well, the 70-point game was fake because it came against my GOAT.
Oh, okay. How is it fake? Like, what's the angle you're taking here?
Jump shot merchant.
How many free throws did he take in that game, I wonder?
Probably a million from the refs who are afraid.
Afraid of what?
Afraid of Wemby eclipsing the league's golden boy in year 1.
Hey, that's true. That's why the refs handed him 70 points. It's pretty sad.
Yup.
Yep. Other than that, I wrote down,
Maxey had his first triple-double, too, against the Bulls.
congratulations. Who cares?
That's why they should be deplatformed.
Hey. Devin Bernstein, or Bernstein, I'm not sure exactly, says, are the Sixers ... alive? Embiid looked good, and the team seems to be getting healthy, and some rhythm/chemistry. I don't want to like spend this whole season being like the East is an imaginary conference where, you know, nothing is like it's a void. It's not real. If you go to an Eastern Conference game between the 14 seed and the 12 seed or something, it's a vacuum in space where you need to bring an oxygen tank to be able to breathe. There's nothing there. It's imaginary. But I don't want to spend the whole season doing that. So fuck it. Yeah, the Sixers are back. They're back. This is all real. It's totally cool that they're just playing the fucking like Pistons and whoever. It's cool that they played the Magic and the Bulls and all that. I guess the Magic are good. The Hornets and the Bulls. It's totally chill. And hey, the Nuggets lost to the worst team in the conference, so it pretty much means that the East is like as good as the West.
In order for them to be good, their best players have to all play at the same time. So
Well,
it feels
happen.
right. It feels right now like that won't happen, but a lot changes. Nothing pre-January's canon, is it? I don't know. What are the important months of the regular season? Has anyone decided?
So it goes
because everyone goes, well, the first year, the beginning doesn't count. Also, the end doesn't count.
Yeah. So in the beginning of the season, everybody's rusty, shaking off the rust, coming back. You know, the standings look really weird. The sample size hasn't gotten big enough. But then you get to like after January, then it's like, well, everyone's gearing up for the playoffs. So like coasting, taking it easy. You don't want to like hurt yourself at this point in the year.
Come on.
That's yeah. I think there's like 8 games right in the middle, like January 1st to January 20th.
Well, no. New Year's, they were partying. It was the holiday season. Everyone's a little bigger.
Of course, yeah. Okay. So like what, January 10th to January 20th?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So Martin Luther King Day, everyone gets up for that. Valentine's Day, you got to take your foot off the pedal by Valentine's Day because it's like The women, man, they get in the way. They're like,
I mean,
"Where's
yeah,
my
nobody has any energy after Valentine's Day. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Every NBA
don't
player is born in November, 9 months later. Coincidence?
don't yeah, really don't go to practice. Buy me flowers. They women be nagging them, right? So
Yeah.
so that's so yeah. Get January 10th to about February 10th.
January 10th to February 10th. Let me see. Let me make sure we're not missing
But it's
anything.
also it's seasonal depression hits during that time as well.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So January 14th, that's the Orthodox New Year. That's pretty tough. January
how
9th.
how about January 3rd to 7th? That's when the New Year's ambition really lasts. Like it runs out in a week.
Okay. Well, that's good because January 8th is the anniversary of the Battle of New Orleans, and so if the
Oh,
Pelicans aren't taking it seriously, who is taking it seriously? Like the whole league. I mean, everyone phones that in.
yeah.
But thankfully, you said January 3rd.
Yeah, to 7th.
Okay, well, Hanukkah wraps up on the 2nd, and
Okay.
then through that, I mean, Orthodox Christmas Day is on the 7th. That's tough, but I think we could work with that. And then Estelle Real Day. I'm not exactly sure. That's only in Wyoming, and so we don't have to. There's no NBA team out there.
So yeah, that'll be the real canon basketball.
Yeah,
Tune in.
January 3rd through 7th.
Sixers could be healthy for that.
I mean, yeah, that's when the champions are made for sure. So I'm looking forward to that. It'll just be cool to see real basketball that matters, definitely.
Kyle Lowry is in 3 of the Sixers' top 4 most played lineups.
Isn't he really bad?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm sure that'll. I mean, the thing about Kyle Lowry is that when you're 38 years old, you kind of need you need time. You know, as you play more and more basketball throughout the year, your joints kind of lubricate themselves naturally, and so that's why you always hear guys who are really old in like February. They're like, man, this is the best I've felt all year. This is like the grind. I've been grinded into a sharpened sword, and now I'm cutting all my opponents in half. So I think you just have to give Lowry a second.
The bright side is Jared McCain's existence. Not many teams have that.
That's true. I think literally only one team has it. You got any final thoughts?
Nope.
Get
Great
him out of
vibes,
my
great
face.
player. Jared McCain, shout him out.
Shout out Jared McCain. Jared McCain, come on the pod. Timothy Chalamet's coming on, and so we could have we could have a smile off or something.
We can have them debate how many genders there are.
Oh shit! Who do you think's Jared McCain's got to be based on that front?
Hopefully.
I'd be crazy if he was like, okay, I paint my nails, but let's not get ridiculous, guys. The Hornets 1-3. They beat the Pacers. They lost to the Cavs, the Knicks, and the 76ers. Brandon Miller. So last time I talked about Brandon Miller, I barred the media from asking questions about efficiency. I would like to open the floor now to those questions if anybody has any. Last 4 games, 28 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, only 2 turnovers. You there in the Santa hat.
So what is Brandon Miller's efficiency lately?
Oh, it's funny you should ask. 12.5 3-point attempts a game. 38% from 3, 60% true shooting in his last 4 games. Oh my god.
Whoa!
This man's nuclear. He's a nuclear scorer. He's a hot hand scorer, ladies and gentlemen. Over the last, I think 11, he's like 28 points per game, and this recent stretch has brought that stretch up good enough so it's like 58% true shooting. So all of that's canon. Now, he's
Guess how many threes he's taken in his last 7 games?
If we're looking at 12, probably like 130.
93.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm pretty good at math, guys. We're big math guys over here. 130, 93. Okay, well that's still a lot for 7 games.
That's an insane amount. He's really just letting it fly.
Oh shit! I'm doing the math for real. 130 would be 10 a game for 13 games, so that would be massive. for 7 games. Okay, well, I mean, he's still playing pretty well. And then beyond that, LaMelo and Miles Bridges are reportedly trending in positive directions with their respective injuries. So you take the good with the bad, I guess. You're like, hey, LaMelo's coming back. Miles Bridges is coming back. LaMelo's coming back. Miles Bridges is coming back.
Nick Richards is good. I like the Nick Richards minutes that I see.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a unit. He's enormous.
Yeah. And it's cool. I really don't feel like we've seen him with, like, LaMelo very much at all. Like, for all the Mark Williams, can we get Mark Williams healthy? Nick Richards would probably be really good rolling off LaMelo as well.
7 foot 7'4" wingspan. He was given Onyeka Okongwu trouble.
That's fucked up because Onyeka Okongwu is a small guy, so it's like pick on someone your own size. There isn't anyone. Ooh, you want me to fight Clint Capella? Old man? Nothing's fair.
But the Hornets are being bit by the injury bug, which seems to plague good and bad teams alike.
Chris D says LaMelo is really good on defense.
Yo, what's his last name?
Chris D?
Yo, bro's got D. What's that for? Gay.
What's next? I? Oh my god, dude. What's next? No, never mind. I can't spell. Chris D, pause, says LaMelo is really good on defense if you ignore the stats and the eye test. What blockbuster trade will make the Hornets a contender alongside their two-way star point guard? Hey, this is what I'm talking about.
Okay, so who... Oh, what are you saying?
I was just gonna say the bottom of the East. You literally just are daydreaming the whole time. Like there's nothing. Like you're just
schizophrenic.
Everyone's sitting around imagining what it would be like if anybody within 6 seeds of them could play real basketball. But it's like the bottom of the fucking ocean. It's too dark to see anything. Everyone's like, LaMelo's so good, dude. Oh, my God. I haven't seen him in 8 games. And I know this guy's joking about the defense stuff, but that's just how it feels sometimes.
So is there a single player? Put Jokic on this team.
Okay.
They still don't beat the Celtics.
No. I mean, with LaMelo, like, put Jokic and no one else leaves?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. They don't beat the Celtics.
There's no player in the NBA. Put prime LeBron on this team.
No, still no. It's just like one player can't do everything.
There's no one player.
So to even make them, does this say contenders or does this say like, will they win the championship? Okay, Hornets a contender. If you put prime LeBron here, yeah, sure. He's a cool lob threat for LaMelo, and he's like,
he could play off him.
I mean, obviously LaMelo's gonna keep the ball, but like, I'm sure you'll get some electric. Like, if you look at Miles Bridges right now, prime LeBron's like, so if Miles Bridges is like an 8, prime LeBron's like maybe like a 9, like a 10.
Mm.
So yeah, kind of imagine what that would be like.
What if they had Kobe? Ooh,
Mamba mentality.
Ooh.
I think it's kind of like an automatic. It's like, is this prime Kobe?
Yeah.
Okay, well, prime Kobe would just like refuse to let them fail.
Yeah. Through the tenacity.
Like we'd be getting all these reports from the gym where it's like, Mark, get your soft ass up. I know you're faking that foot injury. And Mark would stand up, and he would be like, I'm Mark Williams. I've been faking this injury the entire time.
I'm a little weenie, and Kobe weaned it out of me.
Yeah. And Kobe would never address that. They would never, like, make amends over it or anything. And then 10 years later, Mark Williams would be like, he's the best fucking leader I ever had. Oh, my God. Okay. And then, how do you say Salon? Solon apologist says, will the Hornets ever be healthy? Is the fate of Charlotte resting in Moussa Diabate's hands?
Oh, what a sad sentence. I suppose to an extent.
Well, I mean, if they're resting in Diabate's hands, that means they're a rebound. and so that
Ah,
means they're coming back. If they're a rebounding
okay.
team, he pulls them down. They're a rebound. He's kicking it back out right now. So,
I saw even he missed a game the other day.
yeah, it's probably done. Like, would you rather be the Hornets or would you rather be the Pistons? Where it's like, okay, Pistons generally kind of healthy,
Ooh.
not doing anything. Hornets did something. It feels like unfeasible to expect them to like put a healthy season together at this point.
Probably Pistons, just because it feels like LaMelo is closer to leaving than Cade or anyone on
Yeah.
the Pistons.
That's fair, I guess. But help is on the way. LeVar Ball.
Lonzo, he's coming.
I think LiAngelo's coming actually.
Oh, let's get them all. And get a Kongwu.
Fuck it, why not? Chino Hills, let's run the leak out offense again.
God, that'll be epic.
The Raptors, 0-4 this week. They lost to the Heat, the Knicks, the Mavs, and the Thunder. Scotty Barnes is injured again. He sprained his ankle really bad. And then, there was a tweet where this girl was like, in the 9th grade, I chose to do a presentation on Raptors basketball. And since I took the topic, this dude in my class couldn't take it. And now that dude is on the Raptors. That was AJ Lawson.
Really? AJ Lawson.
Yeah. And that's
AJ Lawson.
the only thing I wrote down. Scotty's hurt, and AJ Lawson couldn't do a Raptors presentation.
Who is AJ Lawson? Why can't I picture this guy?
He's a guy. He plays basketball.
Where did he play college?
Let me see.
South Carolina.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, this guy. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't have been into this guy. So.
Damn. He just got signed by the Raptors. Give him a fucking break.
Senior year, 17 points a game on 14 shots.
Yeah, this guy. Kind of a scrub if you know what to look for.
1 assist to 1.5. More turnovers than assists. The 3-point volume is crazy. He was taking 8 a game his senior year. But yeah, let's check out the okay, all right, interesting. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, he went to Mississauga Prep or whatever. I've been to Mississauga. Shout out Mississauga.
Well, I wonder how Mr. Saga is doing.
Ah!
Nice.
And then rest in peace, Scotty.
Yeah, that sucks. It sucks. This season sucks. Fucking everything's bad. But Riley, says the Raptors won the OG trade. RJ Quickly and Mogbo for an expiring contract is absurd. I feel like the Knicks would rather have the depth at this point, but maybe I'm a crazy person.
No, I think you're crazy, right? Riley, is it your time of the month? No.
This is why a woman could never be president. It's because they think the Knicks are angry about the OG Anunoby trade. Oh my god.
No, well, here's the thing, Riley. RJ only plays well in Canada, so the Knicks only play in the U.S. unless they're playing in Canada. The few times they play the Raptors, so RJ would be trash for them.
Quickly hasn't played.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what has he done this year?
He's played 3 games.
Yeah, so I think right now this is still. I think it's a pretty clear pretty clear W for the Knicks. I mean, because OG's been the one guy he's fully lived up to expectations the whole time.
I definitely wouldn't consider it an L for the Raptors. Maybe they could have gotten more like if you don't fuck with RJ and Quickly and everything, which that's fine. They probably could have gotten like straight up draft picks for OG, like just like a few, like 3 or 4 firsts. And I would say Masai probably waited too long. It feels like he was always like 8 firsts, and then I'm hanging up the phone if you don't give it to me. But if you look, like, I don't know, OG for RJ's playing extremely well, even if it's just in Canada. Quickly, I feel like is good, and we just haven't seen yet. It's fine. It's not the end of the world as far as returns go. Maybe it's just like if we make it to next year and they get healthy and they still just look kind of okay, they are paying way too much money for this team. So then you start to worry a little bit. But right now, I'm not like torn apart by it.
And even if RJ was in Canada mode for the Knicks right now, and they had healthy quickly and Mobo, I don't know if that really addresses their underlying issues, because RJ is just not, even at his best, he's not the defender that OG is. Quickly is decent, but he's still a smaller guard. And then Mobo, maybe they could do something interesting where Mobo plays like minutes at the 5.
Yeah.
But I don't know how viable he's been at the 5 in the NBA, or if he's been given any run with that. But he is a huge guy, and he did play 5 in college a lot, so it might be more interesting. But I would still lean towards the Knicks coming out on top.
Yeah, like if you're like, oh, the Knicks, it all hinges on R.J. Barrett in a playoff series this year. It doesn't make me feel good. So I'd probably be chill if I have OG, I'm cool. Any final Raptors thoughts?
Nope.
Okay. That's the whole Eastern Conference, right?
The Wizards.
What's that?
So the Wizards are 3-19. They own the league's worst record. They're on pace to win 11 games, which would be the worst season in franchise history, worse than their previous mark of 15 wins.
Mm-hmm.
They are last in offensive rating. They are last in defensive rating.
Yeah.
Their cumulative point differential works out to minus 16 points a game, which, if it holds, will be the worst single season point differential in NBA history, worse than the Bobcats.
Jeez, these guys really stink.
These are bad guys. These guys, they're not thinking. The Wizards, this is all from an Athletic article by David Aldridge and somebody else. Shout out. And they were talking to the Wizards, and the Wizards management was basically like, yeah, we didn't know we'd be this bad. Team officials did not expect the team to be this outmatched, in italics, or italicized. I'm on record with our athletes and our coaches telling them, I think we're going to be better than most people expect us to be, Monumental Basketball president Michael Winger told The Athletic. A lot of the reason we haven't been better is because of injuries. A lot. So do you know which injuries he's referring to?
Well, first of all, is he talking about the Kyle Kuzma injury?
He's talking about the Kyle Kuzma injury.
They are a better basketball team with Kyle Kuzma off the floor. It's undeniable to me at this point. Like, it's not even. I went into so, guys. The bit here that we're building towards is that the Wizards are they're the worst team in the league, one of the worst teams the NBA has seen in years, and they beat the Nuggets this week.
I genuinely wasn't even thinking about that.
Oh, cool. That's what I was going to be like. Well, what did they go this week? They went 1-3. Well, they beat so yeah. I went to that Nuggets game in person.
Is that the 56-pointer?
Yes. Oh my God. We could talk more about that tomorrow from the Nuggets perspective. I can go in on Jalen Pickett and the gang, but
is he playing more?
He is. It's not going well. And so I went to that game in person. And when I heard that Kyle Kuzma was out, I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
I've seen them play without Kyle Kuzma, and it kind of just like forces Jordan Poole to take a lot of shots, and he's been like, if he gets hot, he's been pretty good this year, and the Nuggets don't really have anybody that could stick on him to stop him. And so yeah, that's what ended up happening. Jordan Poole had 39 points. He was incredible in the biggest moments of the game. Literally every time Jokic sat down, the Wizards went on like a 10-0 run. They were having lots of fun in transition. They were throwing lobs. They were dunking. Jordan Poole was hitting crazy step backs. He did did you see the celebration where he pretended like he was snorkeling?
No, that's cool.
Yeah, and so I went to that game with my girlfriend.
Because you know why that's so cool? Is basketball is a sport played on land, and he's bringing a more aquatic element to it that you don't really see.
Someone should freestyle through the hardwood. Just like Michael Phelps, just break the boards. Yeah, I went to that game with my girlfriend and her sister and her sister's boyfriend, and everyone was having lots of fun except for me.
Okay.
It
They
was
had corn dogs?
yeah. Well, they got popcorn. I got a pretzel with some cheese and a big. I don't. Oh, I just got a water. I didn't get a soda because I wasn't feeling celebratory. So I was like, just water, thanks.
God, the Coke BDS is messing me up. I tried Aldi Zero soda,
Yeah.
not rocking. I really liked the first can of it, but then I got tired of it immediately. So I'm gonna have to. I'm thinking I got to stock up on some Zero root beer, and
Okay.
I've got A&W. No, Barks is Coke, so A&W is not Coke, right? But I got to stock up. I have Diet Pepsi. I got to switch in some Pepsi Zero. So Spawn Hour claims Pepsi Zero is better than Coke Zero.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna give it an extended shot. I've only ever had it from Taco Bell. It's pretty good, but
I've been seeing a
yeah,
lot of Sponhauer has glasses now, and so he's been posting on TikTok with glasses, and it's like he'll open the phone and he'll be like, "What's up, guys? I'm better than you, and I'm smarter, and I read more books than you do, and you could tell because of my glasses. I don't watch football anymore, and I'm done with the podcast with those two fucking cavemen, Theo and Bladen." And then he puts the phone down. So it's like it's definitely a weird angle to his content, but it's been doing pretty well with the algorithm and everything. So good for him, I guess.
slut.
Oh, okay. I'm not even gonna ask you to elaborate. Sorry, Matt. I didn't know that was coming down the pipeline.
Slutty McSlutterson. So who's the other injury that Michael Winger is referring to?
Oh, it's got to be someone insane. It's got to be like Marvin Bagley or something.
It is Malcolm Brogdon.
Oh, well, if they don't have Brogdon, how can you expect them to
I
be
mean, come on.
competitive?
They literally went out and got this guy to win now. He's going to be a big piece for them. So if their current dead last offense and dead last defensive ratings persist, they would be the first team since the 2017-2018 Suns to finish last in the league in both categories in both seasons. So let's see, how many guys can you name off that? I'm going to pull up that roster.
The Suns?
Is the 2017-2018 Suns.
Okay. Do you have it in front of you?
I'm pulling it up right. Oh, well, not
Right.
Devin Booker's game log. Come on.
Come on.
Yeah, so this is a team that finished 21-61, 2017-2018, coached
Okay.
by Earl Watson. Oh, no, Earl Watson, this is the year he got fired. Or no, he only coached 3 games, and Jay Triano coached the rest. So I think he got fired immediately, but I don't remember.
It feels like, first of all, 21 wins for this Wizards team is out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
So that's crazy to think about. But so on that team, obviously Booker is there.
He's there. He averaged 25, 5, and 5 on 56% true shooter. So that was probably average back then.
Yeah,
And people
but,
were like,
empty
I
stats.
hate this guy. This guy should die for doing this.
Empty stats, and he looked weird. It looks like he got stung by a bee.
38% from 3 on 7 attempts.
God, he's so. That's probably
6
like
free
the
throw
best
attempts.
That's probably the best he's ever shot from 3.
Maybe.
Dragan Bender is on this team.
Dragan Bender is here. He's played in all 82.
Beautiful. Is the other Goran Dragic? Is he here?
He's not here.
Fuck. Is Bledsoe still here?
Eric Bledsoe is here. He only played 3 games.
Damn. Oh, that was
Is this
probably
the year he got traded?
I don't want to be here, and they just did
Yeah.
it right away. So Eric Bledsoe, damn. Dragic not being there is surprising. Let me think. Josh Jackson, is he here?
He's here. 77 games.
I really thought he was. I thought that was the next Kevin Garnett. So Josh Jackson, is Tyson Chandler here?
Tyson Chandler is here. 46 games.
Nice. Let me think about this back. Is Tyus Jones here?
No.
Fuck. No, maybe not. Who's his brother? Is his brother here? Is there a Jones?
No.
Damn. He came later.
Yeah.
Fuck.
There's a Jones, Derek Jones Jr.
Oh, maybe that's not who
He
I'm
only
thinking
played
of.
he only played 6 games.
Yeah. Okay, Derek Jones Jr. is no, because he was already on the Celtics by that point. Isaiah
Who?
Thomas.
Oh.
Okay, I mean
Different Isaiah's there.
Isaiah. Fuck, what's
Cannon.
that? Okay. Run me
So-
through some other big names.
So we got T.J. Warren,
Okay.
averaging 20 a game.
Damn.
We got Alfred Payton, only 19 games though.
Okay.
We got Tyler Eulis, started 43 of these bad boys, played in 71.
Nice.
We got some Greg Monroe action. We got Marquise Chris. We got Mike James. We got Troy Daniels and Alex Len. We got a lot of Jared Dudley. We got Davon Reed. We got Shaq Harrison.
Nuggets
We got a ton of
legend,
different guys.
Devon Reed. I love him.
So yeah, we were in trouble this year.
Okay. Do you have any other thoughts about the Wizards?
The Fug? No.
The Fog?
Guys, head on over to Hot Tunes TV China NBA
Guys,
on YouTube.com.
head on over to Cold Tunes TV Russia NBA.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'd partner with them.
Yeah, we do like real Cold War propaganda about players, and so like if I was doing a show about that Suns team and Bledsoe got traded, I would just erase him. I would go back through every video and I would cut out every segment that was done about him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Shout out to Bilal Coulibaly. He had a lot of cool blocks in the Nuggets win. Shout out to Jordan Poole. He's not washed. And Warriors fans, I've seen edits where people are like, "God, if we had him instead of Podziemski, it'd be so much better."
Oh, the air ball was so bad.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty. And shout out to Kyle Kuzma. I hope they get if they get one first for him, I would be happy. Pau Gasol? Pau Gasol. Dig it away.
Lay down a list of what